Welcome to the Saturday Morning Breakfast Club. I'm Chandler Tyree. I am joined by Gary the King Mason and Dexter, Dex Preps, Dex Dudes, Dex the Guy, Dex whatever you want to call him, Tolbert. Guys, Dex, first off, you went to Lincoln and Leeds last night. What was your Leeds they're in a really tough region, yeah. 5A North. We talk about 4A South, 5A North is pretty good too. Talked to Coach Darryl LeBeau last night on the show, but we talked about that 5A North. Leeds is one of those teams in the 5A North. What did you think about Leeds last night against Lincoln?
They're actually really good. They got a lot. Their quarterback is really great. Of course, they got the 2D lineman that has the FBS offers. So they pretty much control the game from throughout. Middle of the fourth quarter, they start putting in subs. So I left at the middle of the fourth quarter. It was 30-7. I think the final was 30-14.
Yeah, I think Lincoln scored a late touchdown with the backups in. But
as far as Leeds, I'm not sure how deep of a run they're gonna make. I mean, I don't see them as being sort of like a Ramsey or anybody like that, or Gulf Shores. But I think they should go maybe win a couple of games in the quarterfinals. And speaking
of that, Gulf Shores and a little bit of hot water maybe. May not be. A lot of speculation going on, a lot of things about what could happen. But it's a big storyline, that's for sure. Top-ranked team in Class 5A, really good football team.
I'm glad you brought that up. I got something to say about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Well, let me say this, and I'm just asking you the question. If the state come in and then do an investigation, you normally don't find out about that investigation until probably it's over, right?
You right.
Yeah. Okay. State goes in to Gulf Shores and do the investigation and find it. I mean, nothing was wrong. They did that investigation a week before we even seen this little posting they brought out. Yeah. Found them cleared everything. So you got a guy that works inside the state that goes out and don't like the decision that the state come back with. And then he leaks this into the media just because he don't like the decision that was made by the state. That's not, to me, if I was the man that was over the state, his boss, he wouldn't have a job today just because of that. The person that they keep throwing the name up, and he's Oxford guy, Oxford alumni, this and that, and I don't have nothing bad to say about him because he did a lot of good things for a lot of good kids around here. So if they come back after Ray Charles don't went the first time, didn't see anything, and come back with
you can't call him Ray Charles. You kind of defeat your argument right now.
No. What I'm trying to say is, if you come back and say, "Oh, I seen something," what you didn't see the first time.
Yeah, true.
That's my point. Yeah. Okay, that's why I said that. But my thing is, it kills me that our own folks around our town will keep jump on that media bandwagon and start jab at a person that you know personally.
Yeah.
And
that a pun you're using?
Yeah.
Jab.
You like that? But you know what I'm saying? Shaking that tree, throwing rocks in the glass house is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because, you know, I have seen that guy make sure that kids that didn't have, I'm talking about around Oxford kids, and then that he's not gonna be that one that you're gonna actually should be throwing rocks.
I don't know any of the details. I mean, I do. They put out a lot of details.
Yeah, what they put out.
But at this point right now, it's just allegations. It's just speculation. In our country, even though it's supposed to be innocent till proven guilty. Right now, we jump all the way to guilty. But for us, it's definitely a storyline. Like if something was to come out, that's the #1 team in Class 5A. That could throw a wrench in all the Class 5A playoffs. A couple of big games in our area last night, man. Well, let me go all the way back to Thursday night. Pinson Valley, Pell City, double overtime. Pinson Valley Pinson Valley beats Pell City in yet another one-score ball game. Pell City, how many one-score ball games have they lost this year?
Maybe 5.
5 or 6. Oxford, Leeds, Moody. Shades Valley.
4 or 5.
It's been they've lost a lot of close ball games in year one. So like even though you're not seeing on the scoreboard, there's some competitive nature that's going on at Pell City.
They actually improved a lot since last year. So.
No doubt about it. Last year they were getting, what you call it, curb stomp?
Yeah.
Last year they were getting curb stomped pretty regularly, but Pell City comes back, has lost a lot of one-score games. They got a tough matchup with Springville in Week 10, so we'll see how they do in Week 10. But just a tough night for them on Thursday night.
The future.
Yeah, the future is going to be bright, though.
Yeah,
It's gonna be bright. Oxford went through that.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
See, and that's what is important. I mean, we like to talk and tease and say little stuff. I love to keep fun in this right here.
Yeah.
But truth be told, a couple more years, you're not gonna want to face up with them guys if they keep.
No
doing
doubt
what
about
they're
it.
doing.
Yeah, and like the thing that they don't have going for them that Oxford had going for them a couple of years ago Oxford was in that other region that wouldn't. Let's be honest, like right now they're in a tough 6A region.
Yeah.
Pell City's in that tough 6A region right now with Oxford, and it's tough when you're not very good. It's tough to kind of put a Band-Aid on that and to hide in that region.
Well, my granddaddy didn't believe in Band-Aids. He said let it air dry.
Yeah, well,
And
they've had a lot of air drying and a lot of wounds being cold air being blown into.
Actually, they've done a great job with the facilities. I went down there Wednesday or Thursday. They had the alkaline water machines inside the weight room and stuff. So supposed to electrolyte.
Yeah.
And they feed those kids 3 times a day. When I was there, post practice, they was eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
And so they had breakfast. Yeah, I thought they give them protein bars throughout the day, lunch.
They doing it
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think Probst always wanted to go to the college level and never really got the opportunity. So he runs his high school programs like a college program.
Yeah, because they even stay in a hotel, no matter who they play, even if at home, stay in a hotel the day before the game.
But hey, Probst does a good job. I'll tell you who Boss Lady is. Boss Lady is Stephanie Probst.
Yeah.
She's the one that runs the whole entire ship.
Yeah, I've seen her.
She takes care of nutrition a lot of the time. She takes care of scheduling. She takes care of all the scheduling stuff. She's sharp.
Yeah, I seen her.
Get back to the three meals a day.
Yep.
Is it too late for me to sign up?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people look at that and they're like, "That's just overkill. That's overkill. That's overkill. That's stupid." People don't realize, and I don't think I would realize as much as I do. And you two guys probably realize because you're involved in school systems, you're involved with young people's life, you're involved in. But those are 3 meals that some of those kids wouldn't get if they didn't have that. Like you can say it's overkill all you want to, but we need to be going, man, that's awesome that kids that wouldn't get meals are getting 3 meals a day.
I love it. That's why I want to sign up.
That's the way he looks at it. Those kids, they burn a lot of calories, practice, weight room. And like you say, they may not even, maybe go home hungry. And so with that 3rd meal, at least they're going to be satisfied, hopefully until the, next day.
Yeah.
When I was playing football, I got at least 2 good meals a day because I'm going to get that lunch at the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go out here and practice hard. And then when I get home, Mama going to have dinner ready. That's them 2.
Yeah.
And you guarantee those 2.
Yeah.
Now, they getting 3 at the school.
Yeah.
Then they might get 1. Yeah, they may get 1 at home. They may not. But
y'all know though, for recovery, eating and putting stuff back into your body is very important. I'll say this, at being an Oxford guy, great facilities and all that stuff. But I believe if you're going to stay up and you're going to compete with those teams at that level that Oxford plays at, they're going to have to start doing the same kind of thing. But that's got a lot of outside support that's got to happen for that to become a reality.
Yeah, then we're going to start getting them 6'4", 6'3", big 300-pound linemen. We ain't got them.
No, not right now. And I think that right now, not trying to hurt, not trying to be that guy, but that's the difference right now.
Yeah.
Oxford skill players are as good as anybody they're going to play.
That's right.
Their skill players are as good as anybody they're going to play. Their scheme's as good as anybody they're going to play. On both sides of the football, Coach Cochran, we talked a little bit about it last night. I talked to Chase Robinson, the play-by-play guy for the voice of the Yellow Jackets, essentially on K98. Talked to him last night, and he was talking about that skill-wise that they're going to be unbelievable. We were talking about that matchup that's coming up next week with the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and I'm excited to see, can that pass rush of the Oxford defense get Jim Ogle off of his platform and make him move a little bit in order to go. Because if they don't, then Jim Ogle's going to be able to sit back there and he's got some weapons. Don't question that.
Right.
And so I'm ready to see that. I think that going off of what Pell City, impressive. Feeding them 3 times a day, impressive.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want to about it, but that's 3 meals a day that some of those kids are not getting. So, looking in Class 2A, the number 1 team in Class 2A keeps rolling. BB Comer 49-0 Thursday night over Fayetteville.
Nobody gonna beat BB Comer.
Yeah, and I told y'all earlier he joined our pregame show yesterday, but one of my good buddies in the coaching world, Jermaine Watson, the head coach at Banks Academy, the Banks Academy Jets, he'll be joining the show probably around 8:30 this morning. So excited about talking with him. Got to talk to him a little bit yesterday. They've got some really good players at their level, and so really excited about that. Last night, man, the shocker of the night, though, 8-man football. A team that we thought was going to win their whole entire division, win a state championship, win a championship. The Jacksonville Christian Thunder go down last night at home in the first round of the playoffs to Tuscaloosa Christian, 56-48.
Oh, wow.
First round.
Yeah, I mean, like you talk about, I mean that game last night, it's like arena football. Absolutely no defense. Teams going up and down the field, and they couldn't get a stop defensively.
Oh, wow.
It was 28-28 at halftime. Both offenses were prolific the entire game. Just couldn't get a stop, man. Like for me, that hurt because they were number 1 in my power poll. I thought they had the best chance to go and win their division of anybody that we cover, and so that's a tough way to go out. 8-1 on the year. Was a perfect regular season and then lost in the first round of the playoffs. So a tough out for Jacksonville Christian.
And that's unusual for them because they usually go deep into the playoffs or even win it. So,
Yeah.
like you said, that was a big shocker.
Quarterback, is he a senior?
He's
Sophomore.
Well, they'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Quarterback's a stud.
He's a stud.
We
He'll be
covered
back.
him last week, and just watching his film, he's been one of Dex's dudes. You can see it at camps. You can see it in game.
Yeah.
Can throw on the run, off platform, can move, has good footwork.
I'm glad you
The
said
ball
that.
just jumps out of his hand.
That's put the kids up there. I mean, good highlights on them. And this is my problem right here. What am I filming? What? I want you to go back and find that tape on the King, and I need highlights because I'm trying to get me a
King,
deal.
I ain't gonna lie, we tried because we were gonna try to get you NIL deal.
That's what I'm trying to get.
We was trying, King, but film was too fuzzy. Too old.
Here come that Frackanaka Bull right there. Here we go.
Too old.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, we were trying to. You got to take the old one and you got to take the old reel and slap it on in the thing. We had one at Buckethead's house, but we couldn't get the reel to work. That was before VHS.
Buckethead equipment.
Buckethead, you need to get some new equipment. It's still fuzzy though.
Have it put on a DVD so they can make it look better.
You better find something.
All right.
I'm getting jealous now. You better find something. They look good. You do a good job, man. I'm telling you, if nobody tell you, I'm telling you, you do a good job.
I appreciate it.
7A football, a guy that we're familiar with, Keith Ezrich, 48-0 over Prattville. But y'all remember, like Prattville, like when I was a senior in high school. Now I'm old, but I ain't that old. Like at 2007 football season,
You old.
they were the second-ranked team in the nation. Like they finished second nationally ranked.
Yeah.
And now, like it has fallen off. Ever since Bill Clark left, it has not been pretty for the Prattville.
Well,
Prattville Lions.
They had big boys. That Prattville was the first
They're
high
huge.
school team that I seen that came up here and played Oxford. And the whole game, they was hurry up offense. And the front line was running. And big boys in shape.
No, they were. That was when they were rolling.
Yes,
that was when they were rolling.
That's kind of like Leo Montgomery back in our day, how they used to dominate.
Leah
But
Montgomery.
now you hardly hear anything about them.
That's right.
That's when they had,
J.D. Lee.
Yeah, they had Spence McCracklin. I think that was the head coach or something like that. Man, I used to look at that team. I was like, wow, man, how do they have so much talent?
Carver.
Yeah.
All of, when I was in school at Alabama State, when we were speaking of the Hornets, we had a person call in here a few minutes ago and ask me what did I think who's going to win the game between ASU and the Bulldogs.
You said A&M, right?
Never. Ever. Listen, you see that hat. What that say?
ASU, baby.
ASU. They don't call the King out on TV like that. They're going to be shaming themselves.
Hey, you got it easy though. Like a bunch of your stuff just goes back. I mean, like you black and gold for life.
Yeah.
High school, college.
It was a decision made when I was young.
You could be.
Straight out of high school, straight to the home.
You bleed black and gold.
You Pittsburgh fan?
No. Not go.
No.
That's yellow, ain't it?
That's
That ain't gold.
That's not a.
All right, some games in Class 6A, which kind of hits home for us. a game that's going to hit home real soon. Parker, the Thunder and Herd played on Thursday night, 56-0 over Huffman. Everybody's beating Huffman, though. Probably a game where they pulled out their starters early. But Oxford's going to match up, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But Oxford's going to match up with Athens first round. They should beat Athens at home. But then they get a highly anticipated matchup with one of the better 6A teams, two of the better 6A teams. A matchup between them and the Parker and Thunder Herd. If both of them take care of business in the first round, that's going to be a pretty good matchup in Class 6A.
I would love it.
But
I would love it.
Looking at that, Athens beat Fort Payne 29-28. So a big win for Athens last night. Benjamin Russell over Helena 20-17. Big win for Ben Russell.
I didn't see that coming.
No, Helena's been playing really well. Bessemer City 41, Paul Bryant 12, Briarwood 20, Homewood 13, Buckhorn 26, Decatur 21.
Can't wait till you get to that south side.
Clay Chalkville, I guess they 5A.
I know. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
hey,
I'm waiting. I'm looking at it this way. Don't jump all in.
Clay
man.
Chalkville 52, Shades Valley 28, Gaston City 46, Calera nothing. I know it's tough for you to say, King, because for a little while there, Gaston City had become like a rivalry with Oxford that we need to pick back up. Obviously, Coach Ali Smith doing a great job over there at Gaston City. It's a good gate for everybody every time they play that, especially when they play it early. And so Gaston City, let's give them props. And I called them out last night. Gaston City's got a good football team this year. Won their region, 6A, Region 8 champs. But I was looking at their highlights last night on our show, and they had a lot of empty seats in their stands. So I called out Gaston City fans, go watch your team play, support your team. They're doing a great job over there. They're getting that program back to where it needs to be at. Go support them week in, week out. They got first round of the playoff game they'll be hosting. Make sure you're there.
Also, Gaston went down to Montgomery and shocked everybody. I didn't know that they beat Carver.
Yeah, beat the mess out of Carver.
Yeah. Down there.
No, it wasn't in Montgomery. It was supposed to be in Montgomery. They had to move it.
Okay.
They moved to Gaston City, but still beat it.
They
Big
still
win.
beat it.
And you know, speaking of empty seats, Talladega. Have you ever went to one of their games and seen the game?
Yeah.
Man, that's who needs support, those kids, man. It's basically empty.
But here's the thing: that program's never going to get turned around if the community don't support it.
True.
And I don't care who's there. I don't care if Nick Saban decided he wanted his last challenge in his career and he went down there. They're never going to win. What you looking at me like that for?
You telling the truth. I mean,
They're never going. They never going to win. They never going to win until they get the support that they need. But community support is huge in high school athletics, and so they got to support. And here's the thing about Talladega that a lot of people don't realize: Talladega, their junior high team won the Talladega County Big School Championship in junior high, and so that the talent is there. Is keeping them there and supporting the program
and keeping them out of trouble.
Yep.
And listen, I know it's hard to just tell Uncle Tom to go over to Westgate or cross the railroad tracks and you know he's not used to going over there, and somebody might bring his hat to the hospital. But some of these coaches are doing it. Ma'am, the King said, "Appreciate you for taking care of me." Thank you, ma'am. But what I'm saying is that going into the neighborhood, getting these kids out of there, because it's trouble over there waiting on them. If you get them over into some sports, athletics around the school, a coach that's tried it, and I guarantee the one they got down there, I met him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Great guy.
I mean, he just like you said, he need help from the community.
But the thing you said it perfect. Like we can sit up here and talk about it, and people's like, well, it should be easy, but like it's hard to escape that life if that's all you know.
Yeah.
Like in football, it's a means of getting kids away from that life. Like I used to tell my kids that came from a rough background, I was like, man, like there's a generational curse that's going on right now in your family. You can either make a decision. You can learn the lessons that you learned from football and use those lessons to change that and change it for your kids going forward, or you can continue down the same generational curse. The choice is yours. I mean, it's one of those things. And Dex, you probably know people that football's been a saving grace for them.
It has, because like I look at it like you have some of these kids that like to fight. They got a lot of anger for whatever reason. So you play football. That's your way to take that anger out. Release some frustration.
Legally.
Yeah, legally. Without getting in trouble. So,
right.
like I said, the support down there isn't great at all. And I hate it for Coach Smith because I've known him for a few years from when he was at Montfort. Shades Valley. So y'all just go out and support Coach Smith and those Tigers down there. I mean, it'll make a big difference for those kids.
But like I was talking to a coach in the state the other day, and we were talking about a kid, and we were talking about some situations that were going on in their community, and I was like, man, like he's got to steer clear, he's got a bright future. Like he can't get caught up in that. He's like, dude, it's harder than it's easier said than done. Like it's just
because it's a kid. I know we still down at Greensboro. He was like 6'4", 215 pounds. I mean, he got offered out off a practice film by Tennessee. And so when I talked to the coach, he said, man, the kid quit high school and got arrested for armed robbery.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm telling you, right now, one of the best players in Oxford history would have went down as probably the best player statistically in Oxford history. Didn't even get to finish his senior year because of getting caught up in the wrong thing. I don't know where he's at now, but Corey Kelly was a bad man. Got caught up doing some of the wrong things, and didn't get to finish his high school career. But Corey Kelly was. I tell you this, I don't know if he was the best player, but I bet you this, it was a guy you didn't want to get in front of when he had the football in his hands.
He was a bad boy. Now, listen, he came after me, but he was a bad boy.
I was a young kid, but they were taking bets on how many yards he was going to have or how many helmets he was going to break when he was in high school. That's no lie.
Oh, wow.
You were around a crowd that you were young, you didn't know. They took bets on me, too. But let me explain something to you about
how many ankles you going to get hurt in the game?
I was going to shake. Listen, I want to say this, and a lot of people don't understand that how you put it, and that you put it in a good spot too. But I want to say this, put my spin on it. Like I'm not from Beverly Hills. Actually, I'm not actually born and raised here in Oxford. I'm born and raised over here in the place they call the Ditch. Off Hoppen City. It's around the corner. Yeah. The Ditch is separate from Hoppen City. Let me let you know that now, because if you can go over there now and find out. But what I'm telling you is, if I would have let where I was born and raised at hold me down
dictate.
And just stayed out there, it was enough trouble. I had enough friends that grew up with me in high school, growing up on the Ditch, that's in prison right now. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, they kept me in sports. I played Little League football, played Little League baseball. My dad coached me in baseball. And I had folks around me, uncles and stuff, that wanted to make sure I stayed into something positive. And then that's key.
It is.
And when I go on Facebook and I say certain things about, hey, my school system, I support Oxford and the kids, this and that. If you want to fight Gary Mason, mess with those kids. Then I'll fight with you.
Yeah.
Okay, but grown folks, I ain't caring nothing about you. But look at me, Dion said it. What you think about me? What makes you think I care about what you think about me?
Yep, true.
I come from Dion.
Hey, speaking of like people, you talking about being from Hobson City. I was in the class that actually went to C.E. Hanna, the original C.E. Hanna. I went there from first grade all the way through fifth grade. There was only that one class where they kind of changed and they would flip flop, but I was there the entire time. And a guy that made a difference, and you just talking about people making a difference, man. William Hutchins, the principal, long time. He was a guy that had an impact on like my life, but I can think about just not only my life, the impact that he had on my life, but the African American guys that went to school with me, just seeing a man like him, the impact that he had on their life, and they'll tell you. But just I thought the world of him, and just like ice cream parties all the time. He had his own watermelons that he grew. He brought them. Like a lot of schools can't say they had watermelon day like every other Friday. But just a guy that, man, just.
Let me give you a history. That man you're talking about is an Alabama State alum. Went to state. But I'm gonna tell you that the guy before that was over there when I was there at C.E. Hanna, the original C.E. Hanna, Mr. Pappy Dunn. Man, it's an icon.
Hey, I was almost an Alabama State alum until they realized that I wouldn't. They realized that I wouldn't. Dadgummit. He played at Sam's. He played at Sanford. Darrell Hill. They thought I was Darrell Hill. They were sad when they realized it. Who that little midget over there? I thought you was a 6'3" guy.
But they couldn't. They saw you hitting though.
They did do that.
You were hitting.
They did see that. But he go back. Sorry to butt in, but William Hutchinson, Alabama State alum, just an unbelievable guy. A guy he's got accolades and support, but probably don't get talked about near as much as what he should. He was valuable in keeping young people like me and other people out of trouble and doing the right thing.
And two, I think one more thing. Like people say, it starts at home.
Yeah.
It does, but at the same time, as a parent, you can only do so much, and it's got to be the kid's decision.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it takes a village, and so you can instill good values, but they got to accept those values, and they got to be able to do the right thing when they're not around them.
No doubt about it.
You know what? And I see you dealing with a lot of kids, and he done coached a lot of kids, and I have too. Once you leave home, if you're not coachable, I mean that I can't tell you, the coach can't tell you anything. Then we got a problem. So then, I mean, if my coach can't coach and he can't tell you anything, 9 times out of 10, you can't be told nothing at home.
You're right. You're right.
What they say, uncoachable kids become unemployed adults.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people that didn't play don't understand the lessons from football over to, like, finishing the drill, showing up when you're tired, finishing the last rep, doing all those things are the same things that you got to do in life. Like, life's going to knock you down. You better learn how to finish.
I believe in equal opportunity butt whippings. When I was in school, you get in trouble.
Can't
you go
say
to the
that
office,
no. You can't say that no more.
The principal will tell you, put your hands up on that wall right there. You get these 3 licks, you're not gonna want to come back in that man's office. You're gonna get right. You give you some act right. You're gonna get right in class. Now you say you can't paddle a kid now.
Well, I think you can. You gotta have permission now.
For the parent.
I sent the email and a letter to the school and told them. One of mine.
But the problem was I wasn't worried about the paddling at school. I was worried about the beating at home.
They work together.
There ain't no doubt about that.
They work together.
Ain't no doubt. All right, looking at some more scores. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa stays hot, 48-21 over McAdory. Hueytown 56-28 over Central Tuscaloosa. I'm going to go down just kind of. Mountain Brook beats Gardendale 56-42. Oxford in Center Point 35-14. A big win last night for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Put a pause right there. Pause.
I'm pausing. I knew you want to talk about it.
Okay, we were all saying that we want to make sure that Oxford going to be able to win that game so they can be a home field advantage and all that right there.
That's just selfish because I just
you want that.
Yeah.
But Center Point made it a game.
14-8 at halftime.
It made it a game. So what I'm saying is I love being that the next day person to say, hey, man, we still got a little bit more stuff we need to work on. And I don't know what in the world we got these 6'2", 6'1" receivers and why they're not getting that ball enough. Throw the ball. And don't throw these 2 or 3 yard pass. Throw the ball down. Get that pass interference call.
Yeah, you got with the Richardson kid, you got Kamari Hampton.
Well, here was the thing last night. Like here was the deal last night. Everywhere Kamari Hampton went, he was bracketed. There was 2 guys for him last night. Like they took away the vertical threat there.
But you got 2 other ones.
So they said we're not going to let
Richardson made him pay. Richardson had 2 touchdowns last night.
You make him pay for it.
And DK Wilson out of the backfield had some big catches. So they were dead set that we're not going to get beat by the go ball. We're not going to get beat by Kamari Hampton. And we're going to keep everything in front of us. And Oxford took what they got offensively. Moving, and the thing about it is they were methodical in the first half. But the problem was like once Center Point figured out what they were doing offensively, they had a game plan. They would shift, do some things, and what's the best defense?
4-3.
No. I ain't talking about. I'm not. The best defense is when your defense is sitting on the sideline because your offense is holding the football. But the best defense is when your defense is off the field because you're putting methodical drive, and that's what Center Point started doing. They had 2 drives in the first half that kept the ball for a long time, and Oxford was rolling. Oxford was ready to get the ball back. They were a penalty, a sack away from being 21-0. I think Caddy ball the door in the first half, had to punt it, and Center Point put a long drive together, and so that Center Point had a good game plan. Let's keep the ball away. Their quarterback was a very good athlete. They didn't throw it extremely well, but his legs were good enough. He could keep the ball. He could keep plays going where his receivers could get open against a secondary that was pretty greedy last night for the most part for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
The linebackers for the center point was impressed me. Every time I see a delayed blitz, he back one of them. He was back there when the quarterback was handing the ball.
Yeah.
Malik Brown.
Yeah, he tall kid.
Yeah, Malik Brown.
He was in the backfield before he handed the ball off, and I thought he was offside. There wasn't no flags, but
I seen him at one of my camps, man. That kid's good.
It's good.
Same kid, Malik Brown. He's a
Yeah, they play really well.
He's good.
I think that we don't talk enough about the job that Coach Bates does at center point. Like, you don't understand. Center point would have been really, really good this year. They lost some guys that moved out and went to some different schools. So the job that Coach Bates is doing over there, unbelievable job. He's had to replace his staff about at least twice since he's been there. And so he does a great job over there. Pike Road, 43-22 over Carver Montgomery. Saraland, 42, Theodore 13. Spanish Fort, 42, Murphy 9. St. Paul's, 44, Baldwin County, 25. And Stanhope Elmore, 56, Park Crossing, 14. So some tight ball games in Class 6A, and then also some games that were games that kind of got out of hand a little bit. In Class 5A, some good games last night. Also in Class 5A, looking at this, Elmore County 28-21 over Hopeville. Elmore County is a program that has turned that thing around pretty fast. Fairfield 41, Hayden 12, Faith Academy 21, UMS Wright 13.
Yeah,
that was a game that was
really good game.
Yeah, really good ball game. And there's some implications there with kind of what we talked about early.
It depends how that plays out.
Yeah, and let's just put it this way. The right guy called the state to try to make things happen down there. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is sad because they do it right before playoff time.
Yeah, and Dex, you fell me, and I'll fill you in later. But the right guy coach in the state is the one who got things moving in that. I guarantee you. We'll talk about it off air. But I ain't trying to throw anybody under the bus.
They've been throwing them.
All right. But we'll talk about that off the air. Gulf Shore stays hot on the field, though, 42-12 over Viger. Gunnersville, 55-0. John Carroll, 49. Winona, 35. Leeds, 30. Lincoln, 14. Like I said, you were at that game last night. Yeah. It's tough to wonder right now. Lincoln's been playing so – it's been a rough go. Yeah, like Springville, St. Clair County, we kind of figured they were going to get beat last night, and it was a lot. But it's hard to tell if Leeds really that good or is Lincoln just not playing very well right now.
I think it was a combination of both last night. So, because Leeds, they didn't look as dominant as I thought they would look. But I talked to Kavion Henderson, the kid that's coming from Arkansas. He's injured, but he still played. So they was able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback from Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. I figured they would be. I figured that they were going to get. Here's the thing. I think Leeds is good. I don't think they're as good as they were last year. Moody, the same way. I've been saying that all year. Yeah. But Moody did have a big win last night. We're going to get to him in a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
But I don't know if Leeds can compete with the likes of Ramsey's and them this year. They played with them last year. They pushed Ramsey to the limit last year in the quarters. And so we shall see. Moody, 34, Southside Gadsden, 21. Tell me what you got on your mind, Gary.
Southside let me down. Listen, they got a good team. Southside got a good team. Buckethead said he wanted to know when was Moody, is the real Moody going to ever step up.
They ain't showed up yet.
They ain't showed up yet. That's what Buckethead said.
Do you think they showed up last night?
To beat Southside last night.
Offensively, they played well. That was probably the best offensive game because we know Southside's got a pretty good defense.
That's right. And now I'm like, it was shocking to me because I thought Southside was going to.
What do you think, Dex?
Pull them down.
I don't know. Moody, they had the injuries this year, like the kid that's committed to Auburn, kid that committed to Coastal Carolina. I don't know if they can compete with Ramsey either, in 5A. It's just hard to say right now.
It's hard for me to think that a lot of teams can. Yeah. We know what they did to Pleasant Grove. We know how good Pleasant Grove is. Yeah. It could be a different game if they see each other again, but you got some people that's going to have some things to say about that. Arab's going to have some things to say about that. Gunnersville's going to have some stuff to say about that. 5A North, I said it, 4A South gets a lot of credit, and the credit is due. 4A South is very, very good. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But 5A North is also really good, too. Yeah. 5A North is a really, really good.
It is.
Arab.
Russellville 31, Fairview 14. Springville 42, St. Clair County 13. That was for a playoff spot last night, so Springville wrapped up theirs. But what about Coach Tyler Robinson in year number 1 at St. Clair County playing for a chance to make it in the playoffs? Not in week 5, but in week 9. That's a big deal because St. Clair County has been abysmal since they went and played in the state championship game in like 2018.
You would say St. Clair County, but then the word playoff?
Yeah.
Playoff?
Yeah.
What is playoff?
Yeah, like, I mean, they've been terrible. Like I said, a lot of people forget that, like, 5, 8 years ago, something in that range, they played for a state championship. But since then, they have been atrocious. Like, it's been terrible. It's been hard to watch, hard to listen to, hard to even see. And week 9, got a chance. And then next week, they can still have a 4-win season at a school that's struggling to win 1 game a year in the past couple of years. So congrats to Coach Tyler Robinson and the job he's doing at St. Clair County. There's a lot of excitement around that program. Valley 27-21, West Point 27, Brewer 13. And then on Thursday night in Class 5A, Pleasant Grove beat Jasper 55-0, and Ramsey beat Carver of Birmingham 41-12. So 2 beatdowns there and Thursday night. In Class 4A, a lot of schools that we were and I'm just an unbelievable game for between Anniston and Cleveland County. I thought the game ended 38-28, but I'm seeing here 38-36.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So I guess Cleveland County scored late.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The turnover, they had the ball 32-28. I was listening to this game. There was a lot of implications with this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Cleveland County wins, shut the door, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But now it's still up in the air. But Cleveland County had the ball 32-28, and I think pick 6 or something. The sound went out. I think there was a defensive touchdown for Anniston. It made it 38-28. Yeah, 38-28. All right, so then they get the ball back with not a lot of time and drive it down the field and score to make it 38-36. Yeah. Just a great effort by Cleveland County, but I'm going to say this. When is the real Anniston Bulldogs going to show up? Or is this – or let me rephrase. Is this the real Anniston Bulldogs this year? Because if they play like that, it's going to be one and done in playoffs for them.
Okay. And I'm not the expert on Anniston. You understand it.
You watch what you say because they already don't like you because you play black and gold.
I'm going to tell you this, and they can all have a coffee and shut up.
I want some more coffee myself.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Because Anniston, Jay Money, did something that he's supposed to do. Yeah. Because they got him set up on a pedestal that, hey, this the guy here is supposed to be going to Auburn, right?
They decommitted.
He decommitted? Yeah. Well, where's he going now?
I'm not sure yet. I think Louisville may be a spot.
I think South Carolina's coming after him hot, too.
Okay, well,
they like
in order for him to get to his next level, he needs to perform like that. And he can do it.
Yeah, he can.
You asking us when is the real Anniston going to show up? They there.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
I agree.
Right?
That's what they are.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I mean, it's another thing where they've got the skill players, but offensive line, defensive line is completely different than it was last year.
They're really hurting on both sides of the line.
I mean,
you lose them kind of players that they lost, though, man. You got to understand.
Rico Jackson is a very good friend of mine. I think he's a great football coach. I think his offensive coordinator, Sheldon Ward, is a good football coach. I just think right now, losing as much as they lost up front, and not to mention the transfers out, that hurt them as a program.
I mean, that goes, see what I'm saying? When Oxford had those same problems, when folks were leaving out of there, and the benefits that I was asking people to say, hey, man, give them kids a chance and let them build. Same thing go for Anderson.
Yeah.
Hey, same thing go for Sachs. Yeah. They got kids that's don't left. Let them get themselves together.
Yeah, wait till you see some of the guys that are coming up through Anderson's program.
Yeah, it's great. They got a kid that they comparing to Rockwez already.
Yep.
So he's a 27 kid.
He's actually getting some playing time already on varsity, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
Because I think, and I think that Anderson might be going young, trying to get some experience right now.
So is that a big key? That's key.
That's key. Like, you got to think about that. But, like, Anderson still, man, if they will put it together and play well, then they can still make a little bit of a run. Yeah. Now, I mean, because, like, you got to think about it. They were up in the ball game right before halftime and gave up 2 late scores to Jacksonville, who we know is one of the better teams in Class 4A. Yeah. And so, Anniston, it's just what team's going to show up? Like, is it going to be?
It's calm because
Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde?
It's calm. It'll come back on you because Anniston's been busting Jacksonville head for the past 2 or 3 years, and Jacksonville had to come back and get them at the end right there. Okay, so it's high school football. Yeah. You're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games. Again, give the kids time to rebuild. And if you got a youth league coming up, spend some time and seeing what you got down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you, that's why I always talk about Coach Sam head off. All right?
Yeah, sorry he was on here. That's the only reason you said it.
I didn't know he was on there. Well, good. He need to hear this. I'm glad you seen that. You better pay attention now because he got you last time. Well, I'm glad he listened to this because it's key to go and look into what you got down in the Little League programs coming up. Mm-hmm. You know, well, hey, man, I'm going to have to work on this. This kid is somebody we need to make sure we keep in our program. Yeah. All right? Instead of some of these coaches saying, I look down there and I ain't got nothing coming, I'm going to look for the next school. I got to go. Yeah. I'm leaving.
Or they don't go at all.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Your youth program is your feeder program into your high school program all the way up. And so junior high, your youth, junior high, 9th grade JV, all the way up, all that stuff's important. And you better make sure that you're doing that. He does a great job. You are correct doing that. I'm just giving you a hard time.
From the youth program up to the varsity, y'all run the same offense.
Right.
So when they get to varsity, it's just like clockwork.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's right. So, when I played 9th grade football, Coach Herron, they would have the 9th graders to come up and run offense against the varsity on certain little things. Yeah. And that's what we used to have to do. But
you should get the head beat in, didn't you?
Oh, I would always bounce around. The dude, the big guy, would grab me by the shirt and say, boy, you better stop making us look bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you for real. And I used to tell him, hit me you want to. I'm going to flash some tires out there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But but you got to know.
People don't know what you mean by that.
You got to know. You got to pay attention to what you got up on you. Yeah. And I guarantee you, that's why you see Nick Saban them. How is Nick Saban at the Friday night game? He got a game tomorrow. Them guys going to see who they trying to bring in.
Who they coming in, yeah. You're exactly right. Bibb County, last night, 54-0. Shout out to Todd Davis, Bibb County.
Bibb County.
On a big win last night. One of the better teams in Class 4A. Yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with Todd Davis.
Todd Davis, he got his head and the chest stuck out behind Bibb County, man. He always got his hand. Look, Todd always give me a story. You guys don't get the stories I get. I'm telling you, he always give me the story about when he played ball and all that. You know, Todd actually broke his neck playing football.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Todd played, quarterback, tailback, linebacker, punt. He did it all.
I thought you was about to tell me he played end guard and tackle. He
tried,
sat on the end of the bench. He guarded the water bucket and tackled anybody that came near.
He tried to play end guard. He tried. But, he wanted them players that got a chance to play all positions. I thought Bibb County didn't have but one player down there.
Now, Todd was a player. When we went and set up at Mason's Barbecue before the JSU game, Todd flashed some of his skills out in the parking lot because me and Gray were playing. He flashed some of his skills out in the parking lot. So
His star receiver is Nam, and he's from Vietnam. And I saw both of them out there on the field practicing. And I'm telling you right now, that's a sad situation.
You ain't right. Look, man, listen, I didn't know that Todd was from Bibb County because, I'm a young buck. So every time I know he's been in this area. And so all of a sudden, I'm at Mumford, and we're playing Bibb County in the second round of the playoffs. And all of a sudden, I look across, and Todd Davis is standing over there. I'm like, what's he doing? I said, we done did something good. I got Todd Davis come out and support the Mumford Lions. And then I talked to him in between games. He said, yeah, my nephew plays for Bibb County. Really good player, too.
Bibb County?
They lost. They lost.
They lost? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
We were good that year, though.
If you go and see Todd's key receiver, which is Nam, from Vietnam, Todd was drawing plays in his hand down in the parking lot, telling them go 5 and cut. And I'm looking at him, man, and Todd, go. And then he go and throw the ball to Norm, and Norm will throw the ball back. I promise you, everything. It's the saddest thing you ever want to see in your life.
I'm lost. I'm lost as all get out.
I'm going to record it. I'm just going to record it.
All right, here we go. Bayside Academy 39, Satsuma 13, Bibb County 54, Holt nothing, Bullitt County 37-14, Catholic Montgomery 27-14 over Andalusia.
Yeah. That wasn't a surprise to me though.
It wasn't a surprise. I think that Catholic, you got to understand, Catholics they were only giving up 2 points a game.
Yeah,
they got the best scoring defense in the entire state, only giving up 2 points a game going into last night's game. Not surprising to me at all. One of the better offenses. I just don't think Andalusia's great this year.
Yeah, they got the running back that's committed to Auburn, but other than that, they got a defensive lineman that's good.
They what? 27-14, Catholic Montgomery over Andalusia. Catholic Montgomery is good. They've been flying under the radar all year. I think that's the way they like it.
Yeah.
People have talked about them in the past, and they've kind of pooped in the bed during the playoffs. But I think they like where they're at right now.
I want to ask you a question, Coach, and I know you're going to know a little bit more about this.
Don't do that.
Yes,
Don't do that to me before you ask a question.
All right. So Catholic Montgomery, this school are able to bring kids in to that a recruit.
Don't go there.
I'm asking you.
Don't go there.
Well, all right. I'm gonna go over here. Then.
Don't go there, cause don't go there because here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. Everybody in the state's recruiting. Like I'm gonna you want to lay it on the table. Like public schools are recruiting. Like I mean, they come after me. I'm a grown man. I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody in the state's doing something a little sketchy.
Yeah.
All right. But no. Now you was trying to just throw the private schools under the bus, and the private schools, each one of their kid counts 1.33 of a student, like 1.35 or something like that. They got that multiplier, and then they also have competitive balance now, where if they win too much, they move them up in classification for that sport. So. We've taken care of the private schools. The problem is we ain't taking care of the public schools that are doing the exact same thing. And I'm gonna leave it at that before people get too mad. But sometimes the truth hurts. Like you can't. I'm just telling you, dude. I'm just telling you.
That's what I want you to do. That's what I want.
But you was trying to get the private school.
No, that opens the gate.
Okay, you was trying to open the gate. Okay, I think you set me up.
You go fishing.
You set me up.
You
Alley oop, or you was trying to bait me. I hear you. All right, let's move on before I get myself in trouble. 56-7, Cherokee County over Asheville. Cordova beats Curry 49-6. Let me skip down here for some games that we actually care about. Hanley over what now? Say it. No.
Division. Real-Town.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get out. That was a big ball game.
Yeah.
Handley Mumford 35-14. Jacksonville 62-0 on White Plains.
14 points against Handley?
It was 35-0.
Oh.
Handley took the starters out. Like look, man, they called the dogs off real early in Handley. They don't try to embarrass people.
A buckethead.
Coach Larry Strange won a bunch of ball games. He ain't trying to build up his ego by beating little old Mumford when they done.
I just want to make sure that Buckethead know about that, don't
he? Yeah, he know about it.
Okay.
All right. Jackson stays hot, 45-0 over Wilcox Central. St. Michael 55, T.R. Miller 54. That's big playoff implications in that region.
That's a play we were looking at when they called it a reception.
Oh,
bad.
And the ball hit the ground like 3 or 4
that
times.
was the play you were showing us early? All right, y'all need to go online, check that out. Did you share it on? Is it posted on your Twitter?
I sent it to you on Messenger.
You sent it to me on Messenger?
Yeah.
We will post that later on. You can give us your thoughts on that. It is a play that is really controversial to be like that's.
And
putting it really light.
That's putting it mildly right there.
You ever known a play like that cause a team to lose and the state come back and reverse that loss? No. Have you ever
known
something like that?
I don't know anything about that.
That's what I'm saying.
It probably ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It was just a horrible play.
Terrible. Well, referees make mistakes, do they?
Yeah. The thing about it, it's like the 2 refs there said incomplete.
Who overruled it?
The white hat.
That hat need to be green then.
Yeah.
On go.
Yeah, I mean,
It need to be gone.
2 said it was incomplete.
That's wild. Like I'm sitting here looking at it. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
All right, going back. That's the game. Like I said, we will post that later on. But just a crazy finish with a game that had a lot of playoff implications in it. West Morgan stays hot, 62-0, top scoring offense in Class 4A. They added to it last night. They were averaging 55 a game.
Oh, wow.
They put 62 up last night. So we'll see how good they are, or if that division just terrible. 4A North ain't 4A. Yeah.
Yeah. That team you just talking about, be Andalusia now.
They tough. Now they ain't scoring 55 on them. 3A. All right. Some big implications last night in Class 3. We'll kind of touch on them as we go. Alabama Christian 54, Southside Selma 34. Beulah and Weaver. Now, this game is a game that had a lot of implications. Yeah. Looking at, I don't know if Weaver actually had a chance to get in the playoffs. Obviously, Weaver was not telling their players that beforehand, but I'll tell you who was cheering big time for Weaver last night was the Childersburg Tigers, because if they would have won, it would have been a three-way tie for that fourth spot. And when you go through all the tiebreakers, I think Childersburg would have made the playoffs because of the win that they had over Vincent and because of the win that they got over Mumford. They were going to have more wins by their out-of-region opponents than the other two. Beulah was able to get it done. Beulah, who was once a perennial homecoming game for everybody, is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Beulah land, baby. Beulah land.
Better not call them.
So I'm calling them out. I don't coach no more. I can call them out all I want to.
Call on Beulah.
All right, here we go. Colbert County 49, Elkmont nothing. Fayette County 36, Midfield 18. Geraldine 54-7 over Glencoe.
Monty.
That's the play right there we was just talking about.
Oh, who's watching on my computer?
Yeah, I saw that.
I was just showing it to him.
Okay.
Houston, when you told me you sent it to, I went straight there and looked it up.
It's terrible.
Lauderdale County,
That's horrible.
Lauderdale County 41, Colbert Heights 7. Let's see, Mobile Christian in a game that was for a region championship, I believe, over Thomasville 45-14. So Mobile Christian, they had a 5-star move out too. They still rolling along without him.
Yeah, they do. I think they'll make a deep run in 3A. They got actually a good chance of winning it. So
How many schools you guys know of that got 4- and 5-star kids that's leaving their school, this and that, and the sun come up the next morning? You're going to live that. Bama State, baby. You're gonna have to put the big draws on, come on and play.
All right, let me tell you this. Here's a big implication all the way around. 2 games right here. Class 3A, Piedmont 22, Hoax Bluff 21 in overtime. Big time win for the Piedmont Bulldogs.
Yes, I agree.
Ohatchee, all they had to do is take care of business. They were in the playoffs as well. Went to Plainview, got beat 34-18. So Ohatchee, after a hot start, Ohatchee is out. Piedmont is now the 3 seed. Hoax Bluff is the 4 seed in that region. Piedmont, that winning culture took over when they needed it. They had senior leadership. Congratulations to Coach Jonathan Miller. It's been tough. Early in the year, there was people going, get him out of here. Get him out. We don't want him. And all of a sudden, he's in a year that's supposed to be a rebuilding year. They are the 3 seed, and after looking like they wasn't going to make it at all, got hot at the right time. Piedmont Bulldogs are going to be tough for anybody in the playoffs. 22-21 over a Hoax Bluff team that's been playing really, really well.
Yeah,
I said this about Piedmont coach. He's a good coach. He left from Sachs. He's a different coach than the one they had in Piedmont. Get a guy time enough to get his program the way he wanted, and
I'll take some
they'll
coffee.
be happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the ones that were ready for him to leave and was packing his stuff, he needs some coffee. He ain't regular at all. Something wrong with him. But the coach in Piedmont,
Thank you.
congratulations to the Piedmont Bulldogs for being able to make it into the playoff with the first year of this guy.
Devastating loss for
Coach Miller
Ohatchee.
being there.
Ohatchee, man, like injuries, just anytime your best player goes down with an injury, and Jesse Baswell was their best player. Anytime your best player goes down with an injury at a small school, it's tough to overcome. Randolph County 32-22 over Dadeville. Sylvania 30-7 over Westbrook Christian. It's been a tough year for Steve Smith, but just like Prime Time said, you better get us while we're down, because we're going to be down very long. This is going to be the worst we are. They got facilities that are being built. They're going to be coming in.
I was going to say, I almost said it, but I ain't say it.
You can say it. I don't understand why y'all
The new facility and what they got going over there is going to recruit themselves. I don't know what kind of scholarships they can give out at that, but they're going to be okay. They're going to be fine. Just fine.
All
right. Trinity 49, Greensboro 7. Walter Welborn 62-34 Dude, I don't know if y'all were watching it. It was 30-27 ball game at half. Hey, your Sachs Wildcats showed up now. Hey, Blue Mountain Bandit, was you at the Sachs game last night? Sachs showed up early, just kind of ran out of energy, and
they gonna get better.
They were up 34-30 after the first drive of the second half, and then came back out and just it's a game of tackle, not two-hand touch though. Got to play tackle. No matter how much we try to soften up the game, we still got to tackle. And that was kind of the thing all night. Just couldn't get a stop defensively to kind of. And once you know you can't get a stop, it puts that so much more pressure on the offense to keep scoring, and you start playing tighter. I don't know if they got a whole lot of defensive stops all night long.
Yeah. They made Weldon play ball. And listen, Sachs rebuild, in which I'm saying it's that they improve. That's right. They're gonna get better.
I'll say this: they play what they did last night. Next week they'll get their first win of the season.
Who do they play next week?
Talladega. We talked good about them earlier. You can say what you. Bless their heart.
Coach Smith is a good dude.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Bless their heart. They had some injuries. Running back didn't play last night. Had a couple more guys hurt.
Gary's like, should I say it or not?
He trying to set me up.
I'm gonna change.
He going to try to set me up.
West
side of Talladega. My dad told me it was a team in Talladega back when he played was one of the best around. And I'm just letting you know now they need to go back and find that bloodline over there, and that's gonna help. But I'm serious business right here. You can't do that when I'm talking. Listen, go on to the next one, man. I'm trying to help. Y'all don't want to help me out.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I just said.
I'm sorry.
West side of Talladega. My dad said they used to have the school was called West Side down there, and they used to beat County all the time. And until my dad said they beat West Side in his homecoming. But what I want you to know is, I believe in bloodlines.
Yeah.
If you go out there and do your homework and go find some of these great grandkids or grandkids and start pulling them into that program, feed them 3 meals a day, spend a little bit of money upgrading and this and that, then somebody gonna want to be a part of that.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay. Now go on, cause you try to set me up, but I know it's set up.
Collinsville 56-7 last night. 3-4 matchup in that region. Obviously, everybody knows who the top 2 teams in that region are, Fife and Pisgah. But a big win last night in a game that I thought may be closer than that in that class. So I thought that would be a lot closer than what it actually was last night in that ball game. But congratulations to Collinsville on getting the 3 seed there. 5-46, Outer nothing. Probably called the dogs off real early in that one. GW Long 31, Wicksburg 26, Goshen 62, Horseshoe Bend 38, Hatton 36, Red Bay, and we are in Class 2A now, by the way. Holly Pond 34-26, Isabella 55-14 over Woodland. Locust Fort 51, West End, Walnut Grove 12, Laverne 36, Lafayette nothing. Laverne wrapped up the 4 seed in their region. Lanette's not in the playoffs.
That's so unusual.
I'll give you say,
but, Coach Story, he's retired from coaching.
Is he doing anything? Is he like a lot of people will retire, go to Georgia, or like coach on like a contract type thing? Is he doing anything right now, or is he just enjoying watching his kids?
I think he's just enjoying watching his kids because he has one at Alabama and one at Clemson. So
yep.
I guess they have to kind of rotate.
No doubt.
Whatever, so.
Pisgah 50, Section 20. Pleasant Valley 50, Gaston 20. Pleasant Valley, after winning first 4, losing 4 in a row, got back on the winning column. They're the 3 seed in their region. And like we said, up here, where is it at?
Since first time making the playoffs.
I can remember say they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs. Big deal.
Yeah,
real big deal.
Real big deal.
Ranburn not in the playoffs, but big win last night over Central Coosa, 64-39. Reeltown 21, Highland Home 14.
Yeah.
Big matchup last night at Highland Home.
I don't know.
How that happen?
Probably Arthur Woods, the running back.
Here's what I got to say. Those two teams are really good.
Yeah.
Here's your five teams in Class 2A to keep an eye on. I mean, and it ain't like I'm not about to blow y'all's mind.
Yeah.
5 Pisgah. All right, Reeltown, Highland Home, and BB Comer.
Yeah.
That's your 5 teams that I think realistically have a chance to win a state championship in Class 2A.
Yeah. BB Comer #1.
I want BB Comer. I really like BB Comer. That'd be a huge thing for Talladega County schools. That would be huge. Fife is really, really good, though.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they're a different ball team. If they play Geraldine again, they beat Geraldine, I believe.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I honestly believe that. They're a different ball team right now than where they were at. You can look at the Pisgah Geraldine score and kind of see that I might be on the line of, because like they beat them. They were up 55-28 over Pisgah, and Pisgah scored late to make that game a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Coach Benfield's got Fife doing what Fife does, and that's winning.
Okay.
And so, and speaking of Fife, let's take a break from all of this, and let's look at one of Dex's dudes right now from the Fife Red Devils.
Okay, this is Logan Anderson. He actually plays running back. Look at that. He's like 6'3", 203.
This is why they're going to be tough right here.
And he's fast. And actually, South Alabama, Louisiana, and one of my friends that used to coach at Alabama, and UAB think he's a SEC-type linebacker.
He going both ways.
Yeah, he is. And he succeeded on both ways. His brother, Peyton, played at Auburn.
But
So.
listen, though, I just see a lot of arm tackle.
Yeah, but
Trying to arm tackle that kid.
he's good. Look at he goes to the ball really fast, too. So
He got speed.
yeah, he does. He's long, man.
Six what?
6'3". He's a legit 6'3". He may not look like it on film, but he is. So,
That's
I mean,
tough.
look, watch this play right here. He plays sideline to sideline. I'm sure you're going to like this gear.
Oh.
Well, if Dex finds you, you good. Stop second guessing my man Dex and ask him questions.
And the thing about it, man, it's so crazy because coaches from Alabama has followed him. Coaches from Penn State has followed him. So I'm not sure if they're going to offer. But this kid, to me, he's an FBS kid, a Power 5 kid, in my opinion. Look at that. So the kid's been dunking at basketball since the 9th grade. Easy, 2 hands. So watch this tackle right here, Gary. Watch this.
Oof.
Tell him, man, this kid's the real deal.
Right there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm telling
So
you.
he's hard to bring down, too. So like I say, a great kid from what I can tell. Actually, Bo told me about this kid.
I like
Ooh,
I'm gonna putting a hand on.
Yeah,
Who told you?
Bo.
Jackson.
Bo Starkey from Average Joe's.
Jackson.
I said Jackson.
Yeah, Bo knows.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I like this kid a lot. So, hopefully he'll start getting some offers. He's a 25 kid. So, he has 0 offers right now.
Oh man, come on
0
now.
offers.
Listen, you guys seen it here live. Dex Pick. Ain't no way in the world that kid don't have no offer. Get some. Come on, coaches. Come on.
He's
now.
going to get some. We're going to change it.
And so going down even further, Thorsby 36, Vincent 18. Vincent's a team we thought that were world beaters.
Thorsby's pretty good.
Thorsby's Thorsby wrapped up the 2 seed.
Yeah.
I think Isabella is the 3 seed, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, Vincent's actually the 4 seed in that region. So very tough region there
This hurt
with
my
BB
feelings.
Comer at the top of that.
This one really hurt me.
You thought they were going to be real good, didn't you?
I did.
Or you just like them because of the Yellow Jackets?
No, I'm serious. I thought they were going to be real good.
They're still pretty good. They're going to be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs, but the problem is they got to play
BB
a
Comer.
1 seed right off the bat.
They better not see BB Comer.
Well, they
That's
might.
told.
They ain't BB Comer's level.
I know.
Not even close.
Addison in Class 1A. Looking at Class 1A now, we've made our way through a lot of the scores. Addison 54, Phillips Bear Creek 0, Berry Fayette 44-8, Cedar Bluff 21-16, and kind of an upset in Class 1A. And I got to look and see. I don't know how that region shakes out. I can sit here and make up some stuff, but it would be a lie, and I'd make us all look like idiots.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to wait and see how that shakes out and see if Cedar Bluff, with that win, got their stuff in the playoffs. I'll tell you who did.
Oh, they played Watley first round.
Cedar Bluff.
Yeah, one of the kids that I know up there, the Fife kid, Caden Fife, he hit me up this morning, so we played Watley.
Okay,
first
so
round.
Cedar Bluff is in as the 4 seed.
Yeah.
That 3.
Sir, you got your Auburn shirt on. What you think about the game tonight? What you think about the game tonight? Today? Yeah. That's my man.
He said, we
See,
lose
that's what I see. No. I
He
mean,
didn't even hesitate.
The great thing about being an Auburn fan is the expectations
Tell the
aren't real
truth.
high.
Yeah.
As an Alabama fan, if you lose, it ruins your whole entire day. As an Auburn fan, our expectations are not high. So if we win, if we win, it's like hitting the jackpot.
Yeah.
listen, I was just wanted to show the difference between. I got some Alabama friends up in here now. You know, if I was to say, is Alabama gonna win or lose? The day they know they're gonna lose, but they're gonna say they're gonna
Alabama
win.
got a tough matchup today. They play bye.
They ain't gonna win. Yeah, they're gonna win today.
Hey, they're gonna be like
they're gonna win today.
Hey, they gonna be
But
like
I'm
Craig
saying,
Fire, don't stay
when
out.
I asked you the question and you said right off the bat, we're gonna lose. Because we got some issues down there. With the quarterback, we can't get nothing. That's number one. And I see the coach on TV talking about, well, our offense look like they're improving, and if they're gonna have to do this and do that.
They're not doing it though.
He better get me some people down there. Oh, he's gonna be on the hot seat.
They can get that kid right there from Fife down there.
Yeah, I got a coach already I want to send down there.
All right.
Named Todd Davis.
Hey, I'll tell you some.
You know him? But I want to send Todd Davis down there. I'm putting his name in the hat. If y'all want to interview him, contact me at 555-347-8888.
777-793-11.
Yep. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Listen. Y'all can't hear it. We got a lot of Auburn hate in the store today. I'm not gonna put up with it. I will end this show right now. We ain't gonna talk about. We ain't gonna have no Bammers come in here and talk all that mess. And you opened up that mess. And you opened up that mess.
You're Auburn man. You heard the man tell me.
You opened up that mess. You opened up that mess. I don't want to know the truth right now. I have to live it out every single Saturday.
Sure
I don't want to hear that mess.
You got tickets, don't you?
I don't want to hear that mess.
You go down to the game too, don't you?
I used to make it all right because like I'd be like, look, if I was when I was the head coach, I'd be like, look, if I win, I don't care if Auburn wins or not. But now I don't even coach on Friday night, so now I got to have Auburn win.
Well,
Good thing is, on Sunday when I walk in church, I get victory every
There we
Sunday.
go.
I got victory, baby. I got victory.
Listen, I had a person to call me this weekend.
This is what I like. That's on Twitch. Somebody's doing that.
Oh, nice.
Listen, that's nice, real nice. I like that.
Yep.
Let me help you out, and I want you to, when you go to church this Sunday, tell the congregation that you heard this come from the King. I had someone call me this past week, and told me, he said, Gary, I want you to let the Lord fight your battle. And I said, okay. I went live and I put the chair right beside me. And I said, listen, I got the Lord fighting my battles and he's sitting right here in this chair beside me. And if you can't see him, you just ain't living right. Don't worry about it. He's telling me what I need to say to y'all. And I'm telling you right now, get ready. Because when I go live, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell the truth about a lot of things out here. And they talking about let the Lord fight your battle. And he's telling me, I'm bringing him with me. So you just let him know I got him in the chair with me.
All right, let's get back to high school football. Y'all made me mad here talking about my Auburn Tigers like that. All right. Coosa Christian, probably one of the better teams in Class 1A. They are the 3 seed in that region after a win last night over Woodville. They had to forfeit 5 games, but Coosa Christian on the field. The only loss is to 3A Geraldine. Your auntie. But Coosa Christian, the 3 seed, Cedar Bluff, the 4 seed there. So congratulations to both of them. Yeah. Elba wins big, 61-14.
Oh yeah, Evan Henderson showed out that game. So I think he had ran about 8 times for 200 and some yards.
Does it really matter? Is anybody gonna beat Leroy?
Yeah. Elba can, I think.
Leroy won 26-0 over 4th-ranked Milry last night.
I mean, I think Elba can test him.
Can Coosa Christian beat either one of those teams?
It'll be hard. I mean, I know Coosa's really good, but Elba's back. I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw them in the spring. They look like a 5A team as far as size.
Yeah.
You remember the guys that came to your restaurant?
Yeah.
They play for Elba.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Elba's got one of the better running backs, one of the better players in the state. Yeah, in the country.
Well, that kid that came to the restaurant, Jacksonville offered him.
Yeah, they did.
And that one that was with him ought to be getting an offer.
Yeah.
I don't know who got him. Anybody gave him an offer yet?
Not yet.
That kid there,
He's
right.
legit size.
He's legit.
Another win last night. Spring Garden and Raglan, big matchup there for the 2-3 seed in their region. 41-27 Spring Garden over Raglan. I thought Raglan was going to go get the job done on the road.
Yeah, I did too, but it happens.
Garden's a tough place to play, and I don't know. For a fact, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know if either team really wanted to win that game. I'm going to be honest with you. I know you played to win, and they both played really hard, but the winner of that game actually had to match up with Coosa Christian first round of the playoff.
They ain't that smart.
Yeah, so like you got to match up with them, and that's a tough matchup. That's a really, really tough matchup. So looking at some games that were out of classification against different classifications, Alexandria, the Valley Cubs finished the year with their first win of the year, 50-15 over Talladega. Yeah. Congratulations to them on getting in them.
Hey, Sam,
Everybody.
check your messages on Facebook for me.
I go right here.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
he
checking
said
his
send a
message.
message.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna check his message.
So you say Alexandria got their first win because they played Talladega.
Yeah.
Is Talladega gonna get their first win?
No, they
This
play
year?
Saks. They play Saks next week. They're not getting a win.
This last ball game.
Yep.
All right, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to stay with you, and I'm going to tell you about some of our sponsors. I'm going to give these guys an opportunity to go use the restroom if they need to, or go get something else to drink. But our sponsors for today's show, CMP, Civilian Marksmanship Program in Talladega. You can if you need to go. Yeah, you can turn it off. Civilian Marksmanship Program is a proud sponsor of TV24. We also want to thank Combat Part and what they do. They are a proud sponsor of TV24. Advantage Tire and Alignment, a proud sponsor of the show. And so we also, Coach Jermaine Watson just joined us. We're going to go ahead and get him up on set.
And a mic.
You and Mike? Okay. I think the King, you gonna go work. I'm gonna get him, and I'll talk with him a little bit while we wait on Dex to come back.
Good to see you, big time. See you again, bro. You can have the king seat because I need somebody to keep this thing going while I'm leaving.
Hey, if you hadn't tuned in already, the King is out, so tune in now. The show just got better. I'm kidding. We'll see you, man. Have a good day. What's up, man? You go ahead and put that on. No problem. We kind of in a little, we live, but we in a little bit of an intermission right now. So if you want to go ahead and put that on, me and you'll go ahead and start talking.
What station is that?
Facebook, and I need to send you. I'll send you the link of yesterday too. But we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. If she'll go on Facebook, go to WEAC. TV24.
Let me I'm gonna take a picture and send it to her.
And we're live on there, live on YouTube, Roku. Oh, I mean, this year's been really good for us. We had a lot of different programs, which is somewhere I want to tell you. If you don't know, you can go on Roku, Apple TV, WEAC, TV24, Fire Stick, all those platforms.
You had to text it to me, Cole. I'm gonna forget.
And so you can do on all that. And I'll tell the people out there too. You can watch us on Facebook. We're live on everything we do there, live on YouTube, and make sure you check out our platform. So,
see you again, bro.
have you noticed on set right now, we have the coach of the Banks Academy Jets. We heard him yesterday in the winning drive, but wanted to get him here in person to talk about some of his kids. Coach Jermaine Watson.
Don't ever say that show is going to get better when the king gone. But you said somebody just told me Coach LeBeau done called the king out last night.
Yeah, he said he didn't call you. He said he need to talk to you about some stuff.
We'll tell him to call him.
I'll tell him to call you.
Call me on the hotline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call the king, baby.
I'll call the king.
Call the king, baby.
But talking about, before we get into it with Coach Watson, I want to look last night. Mars Hill, a powerhouse in Class 3A, beat Scottsboro 36-35, and that brings us to another one of Dex's dudes. Tell us a little bit about this guy, Dex.
This kid right here, he's a 25 kid from Mars Hill, receiver DB, great speed, great hands. He has the ability to run past some of his defenders. He's not a big kid, I think, maybe 5'10", 5'11", but he's really, really good for Coach Higgins. So I don't know if he has any offers yet, but he should. So right here, I mean, the kid's like really, really, really good. So I kind of like him a lot. So.
Now he can run a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know a 40 time on him, or
I don't. I would say maybe 4'6", maybe 4 or 5.
does he have any offers?
No offers yet. So, which is kind of surprising because I know a lot of coaches come through Mars Hill, but they lost their top receiver to Rogers. So I'm not sure if they're still coming by there a lot.
If let me ask you this: is Mars Hill? I mean, is he going to play DB or receiver at the next level?
I like him at receiver. I'm an offensive guy, but like I said, I was wrong about Logan. Kid from Fife, everybody was like, he's going to be. I thought he was running back, but everybody likes that linebacker. So
I think that I like him at linebacker too, just because you get a long guy that can run a little bit, tackles well in space.
But this kid right here, he's a great tackler too. Goes to the ball, diagnoses the play really well. It's just hard to say right now because I haven't really talked to any coaches about him. But like I said, I'm an offensive guy, so I'm super offense.
No doubt about it. And then when we get done with this guy, so tell everybody what this guy's name is again.
Tanner Caudle or something like that.
Okay.
C-A-U-D-L-E.
Tanner Caudle.
Yeah.
And so.
Watch you run somebody down right here.
And didn't really have the angle, so can't really coach that. Scoop and score right here. Number 2 wanted his name called out. I don't know his name though. But another guy like I said, before we get with Coach Watson, a guy that a really good player. We talked about the season they've had. It's been a tough one, but it hadn't been because of the play of this guy, Caleb Gross, wide receiver, a guy that does everything for the Pell City Panthers. Tell us a little bit about him, the last Dex dudes for the day.
Yeah, we actually saw him in person against Oxford, so very, very good athlete. He has a few offers to his name, but I actually think he should have bigger offers. I think he has like some FCS stuff going on. Great athlete, played multiple positions. You see right there, he's running away from Oxford. So I went by and I kind of seen him Wednesday or Thursday. I didn't really talk to him. So it's hard to say why this kid doesn't have any offers. I think he has good grades. He's just one of those things, as you probably know, coaches, like recruiting can be really slow.
Yeah.
At times, I think he's very underrated, right? Like it's like he does this effortlessly. So.
Like that's the thing about him. Like you just said it, he looks effortlessly running the football, and he's running away from guys.
He does it on like quarterback, receiver, special teams, running back. Like right here against Oxford, I was actually on the sideline. I couldn't get all this play right here, but he's just a really good player. It's just mind-boggling why he doesn't have bigger offers. I talked to one of the SEC schools. They said he don't have the speed to pull away from defenders, but I disagree. So.
No, the film kind of talks for itself. I think he's a guy that after the season, if there's any camps, he's a guy that probably needs to hit that up, work on his speed, and make sure he shows that he can run. Because he's a good-looking kid. He's put together well, and every time I've seen him play, he's ran away from people. And so got really good ball skills at receiver, probably a receiver at the next level. I think he would make a really good slot guy for somebody.
Watch this right up the middle. So.
Yeah, I think he would make a really good guy in the slot for somebody. And so definitely an athlete that somebody would want in their program.
But this is a kid that Jacksonville State needs to get on, in my opinion. So.
This would be a guy that would go in there at Jacksonville State. Like some of the guys they got that were not very highly recruited are making plays right now for Jacksonville State.
Correct.
And so, but like I said, we're joined with Banks Academy head coach, Coach Romaine Watson, a guy that I go back with a little bit, known him from his time when he was an assistant with Coach Rico Jackson, making runs to the state championship game in the AHSAA. Now he's in AISA and got his team at 9-1, ready for the playoffs next week.
Yes, sir. What we've been working on.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your season. I know you talked to us a little bit yesterday, but tell us about how it's went. I know the guy that I was doing the show with, Dawson Strickland, asked you about your defense and the turnaround there. So tell us a little bit about how the seasons went.
Oh, man, it went great. The biggest thing is, you want to stay away from injuries. So we've been fortunate enough, that the injury bug hasn't hit us, especially when your numbers are not really where you want them to be.
Yes, sir.
We have about 32 kids on that roster. So we've been very fortunate. That's the thing. You can have a lot of playmakers, But if they're injured and not on the field, it don't do you any good. And so we've been blessed to be able to, kind of stay away from that injury bug. We had some players that has made big plays throughout the year, kind of under the radar kid. Like I got a big receiver, 6'2", kid named Isaac Smith. He holds a Tuskegee offer. I got a great quarterback transferred in from Centerpoint High School, and a kid by the name of Jarrell Perry. I got another junior wide receiver in Desmond Watson. He's about 6'1", 6'2". And then I got an awesome linebacker, man, who's he very under the radar. Kid by the name of Artrell Cox.
And that's the kid that was hurt, missed a couple of games, and when he came back, you kind of got your.
He came back, he balanced the defense for me because he's been playing Mike for me since I've been there, and so he reminded me of Rolando McClain. When Steve Spurrier made a statement and said Rolando McClain, one of the smartest defensive players, Artrell is there for us. I give him 2 calls. 3 calls, he can always check us to the right call. He's that type of kid.
So he's a guy that's a coach on the field, been able to make adjustments on the fly.
He watches film with me.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the real reason why I talked with him. He knew you were on board with us. I saw him at the Anniston Piedmont game earlier in the year, got his card, and I wanted to make sure that because he's got some guys that are under the radar that can really play, and so I want to try to help him out and his guys out as much as I can. Tell us a little bit about Banks Academy for people that don't really know a whole lot about Banks Academy. Give me a little bit rundown on the school.
We're trying to model ourselves, or we're modeling ourselves after original Banks. I don't know if back in the days people remember when Banks Academy used to be a powerhouse. It's still one of the most watched high school games with Banks versus Woodlawn.
Yeah, you watch the movie Woodlawn.
The movie Woodlawn.
Know all
That's
about
what it's
Banks.
based off of Banks. Back when they had Jeff Rutledge and those guys. David Cutcliffe was on staff there. Mr. Rick Cleveland out of Mobile, coaches at UMS Wright, he was on staff there. And so we're located on the east side of town over there by Huffman. We're actually a mile away, 2 miles away from Huffman High School is where we're located. And so we in the AISA instead of the HSA, but that's what we're modeling ourselves after. Our president name is Darrell White. He's the son of the late great coach at Banks, Shorty White.
Okay, cool.
So he had an interest in wanting to start Banks back up to keep it alive. And so he started the school back in 2009 and started football in 10. And so they've been up since 2010 with football, and I got there in 19.
Okay.
I started there in 20.
Now, let me you took over. Who was the coach before you?
When I took over, Shorty White grandson, Riley White, he was the head coach there when I took over. I actually was done a year as his defensive coordinator, and then he left and took a head coaching job out in Lubbock, Texas, at Trinity Christian School out there in Texas.
All right. Well, for people that's not familiar with AISA, tell us about your first round matchup and what kind of matchup that's going to be for y'all.
My first round matchup, we got Macon East, tough team. Coach Lynn Platt, he does a great job with them. So we have them, next Friday night. We'll be playing at Mountain Brook High School.
So as far as regions, like what teams are in your region?
In my region, I had Patrician, who was the defending state champs. They have Jay Lindsay, the big kid that committed to Alabama. They had him. They're in my region. Pickens Academy in my region, who just declared for the AHSA. They're in my region. Clark Prep, who played for the state championship last year. They're in my region. And then we have Escambia Academy out of Atmore, Alabama. They're in our region.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your playoff bracket here. Like you said, you start out with Macon East. If you win that one, probably a matchup with Edgewood Academy.
Edgewood or Clark. Edgewood or Clark.
Edgewood used to be what had the longest winning streak in the
country. They did one time. When Bobby Carr was there.
Yeah.
Correct. When Bobby Carr was there.
Who is going to be obviously you're going to look at Macon East as your next opponent, but who's the toughest team for y'all in y'all's bracket if y'all are going to make a run to try to win this thing?
We got to get past Clark Prep. We get past them. It's hard to be the good team twice. We had them week 7, and we skirted out with a 27-21 win. And so, it's hard to be the good team twice. So in order to get there, we have to face those. But to face them like in the semis to get there.
No doubt about it. I'm going to look up I'm going to look up your schedule real quick. We can talk a little bit more in detail. When we get done talking about, I'm going to get you to help us run through some playoffs in the HSA. And,
Sound good.
A lot of people don't realize that you know your stuff when it comes to the HSA.
Yeah,
too.
16 years over there, man.
Oh, wow.
And so
15 years in the HSA. Yeah, 15 years in. I got to start by a guy named Curtis Coleman, man. He's my mentor. He gave me a shot, gave a young kid a shot back when he was at Shays Valley.
Okay.
His first year at Shays Valley High School.
So y'all's year 40-30 win over Bessemer Academy, 27-20 over Patrician Academy, Escambia Academy 68-38. Lone loss on the year to Chambers Academy. Coosa Valley, y'all beat 39-6. Edgewood Academy 28-6. Clark Prep, like you said, 27-21. Jackson Academy 20-6, Pickens Academy 70-16, and then Valiant this week 31-0. So playoffs, like we said, start next week against Macon East. Looking at that, so would you have to? Is Chambers Academy? Are they in y'all's? Are they in?
They're on the other side of that bracket. If we can get past Clark, we have them in the state championship.
But let me ask you this: you can get past Clark again, or whoever wins that other matchup, you win your first matchup. That game didn't go the way y'all wanted to go. Any chance that y'all are playing better than what you were playing the first time y'all faced off with Chambers Academy?
Yeah, we'll be playing a whole lot better. When we played Chambers, I had 6 guys out, 6 starters, short off of defense. Artrell Cox was not there. I had another big kid that's 6'2", D tackle named John McGee. He wasn't there. Missing both of my outside line. Well, all 3 of my linebackers were gone that game. I had one out with a shoulder, and John McGee had then the little flu bug attacked the school.
Yeah.
And so I had about 6 starters out defensively. And so I was playing a bunch of freshmen and sophomores filling those spots. Remember I told you earlier, my numbers are not, like you would see at a 5A, 6A
Yes,
program.
no doubt.
I was going to ask you, what's the biggest difference between AISA and the Alabama Athletic High School Association? What's the difference in those teams as far as talent? Is it a big difference?
Dex, I'll be honest with you, sir. There is no difference. It's the name that people get penalized for.
Okay.
There is no difference. Like I said, I had 15 years of coaching experience in the HSA, and I'll tell anybody that Patrician team last year, if you put them anywhere from 1 to 6A, they'll hold their own. And I'm talking about they are quarterfinal, semifinal team. Like I believe this year, I could put my team up. You put us anywhere from 1 to 4A, man, we hold our own. I'm talking about we're fighting for a first seed, second seed team. I think they get penalized because parents decide to take their kid private.
Yeah, and that's a big thing.
And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, so as far as numbers, I know you see you got 32 on your team, so a lot of kids got to go both ways. So
Yeah, but you typically see that in the HSA as
you
well,
do. So
especially for your smaller schools.
yeah. So I know, like you said, the guy from what's his name, Jay Lenz, they end up getting off from Alabama.
Jay Lenz.
Is any other players that you played against or coached against? You got any offers, big time offers that you know of?
Not big time offers. Escambia Academy got a receiver. He's legitimately 6'9".
Oh, wow.
Legitimately,
I think somebody may see him.
he is 6'9" legitimately, and can catch the air out of a football.
What's his name? It ain't
I don't know his name right off, but
I think I
when
know
you
you're
punt, when he turn on the film, you're gonna notice.
Yeah, I think I know you're talking
Yeah, but he's real good, man. He was at Flomaton, and he left Flomaton and went to Escambia Academy, and he's real good. Jalen's, and like I say, my kid has a Tuskegee offer. Like I say, I think he should have more. I think he's a Troy, South Al type player.
And what year does he graduate?
He graduated this year. He's a 24 kid.
Okay, so I got to get on him fast.
Yeah, he's a 24 kid.
Okay.
All right, Coach. Like I said, you think you can hang around, help us with? We got about 30 more minutes in the show.
I thank you guys for having us.
No doubt about it. And I definitely want you to get with Dex about your guys because that's the guy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
He is in my opinion, the best recruiting guy in the state. So get with him, help.
Yes,
but some matchups in Class 1A in the HSA next week. Leroy and Calhoun. Sorry, Calhoun. Leroy's really good.
Leroy.
Georgiana and Keith.
Georgiana.
Lochapoka and Southern Choctaw.
Local poacher. I like the job that Coach Rico Newton do now.
They're doing a really good job.
He's doing a real great job.
They got a Purdue commit as well, defensive lineman.
Coach Newton do a great job.
Elba and University. That's Elba's really good.
Elba been good for years.
Spring. Okay, go ahead.
So if Elba and Leroy play, Who do you think will win?
I think Leroy. I had a couple battles with Leroy back when I was at Adelsville. And I'm saying about them kids by that water. I don't know what it is, but it's saying about that water, man. And Leroy always, they do a great job over there. And them kids going to be hard and they tough nose players. I give Leroy the edge on that.
We talked about that earlier, and I was like Elba, because he was like, if anybody can challenge him, I think it'd be Elba.
Yeah, it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give Leroy the edge.
Okay.
I'm going to give him the edge.
Spring Garden and Coosa Christian, a tough draw for Coosa Christian. I'm telling y'all, they're one of the best teams in.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can play with Elba and Leroy, but they're one of the best teams in Class 1A. It's tough to finish the 2 seed and have to face off with Coosa Christian.
And your dad said they got some really big linemen.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And it's tough. And right now, I think Coosa playing with an edge. You know, with what happened and transpired with them. And I think that, you know, being a former coach, when you get your kids galvanized and get them to believe in what you're doing, they can buy in and run through that wall for you.
I think
it's
right
tough
now,
on whoever you play on Friday.
I think you're right. Right now, I think they have like the mindset of Coosa versus everybody. And so
everybody.
Versus the world.
they're playing with an edge right now. And when you start playing with an edge, you can win any ball. Like when you got talent that they got. So Valley Head and Raglan, a 2 versus 3. Any chance Raglan beats Valley Head?
I don't know much about Valley Head. I've seen Raglan. I'm going to go with Raglan, but I don't know about Valley Head. So what do you think?
I'm going to choose Raglan. Raglan got some skill players.
They do.
That can get out in space. I saw a few clips here and there of them, and I'm going to get Raglan in a tight window.
Cedar Bluff made the playoffs. Congratulations. You get to go try to tackle the Wilkes kid from Wadley all game long. You seen that kid?
Yeah, good look tackling him.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. And then you showed us the Frisco Robertson kid that kind of thunder and lightning together. I mean, they got some talent at a 1A school.
At a 1A school.
Yeah, that I would have loved to have had at 4A White Plains, no doubt about it. And Decatur Christian, Winterboro, any chance Winterboro can go on the road at Decatur Christian and pull off an upset there?
I don't think so. I'm going with Decatur Christian in that one.
Yeah, we had Skylar Mansfield on yesterday, last night. I think it's going to be difficult.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, show him that clip where he just kind of runs away.
Oh, that's just a long way. 75. Hold on. He is moving to be.
Yeah, he's an athlete.
You know, his uncle was Terrence Wilkes, that played back in the day.
Played back in the day. Jesus. Yeah, he's a runner.
He's going to Auburn today, so he's got like Penn State. He doesn't.
What is
know
he,
it.
about 6'2", 6'3"?
He's about 6'4".
6'4", yeah. I can say he's tall.
He's
a big kid, though.
But he's got Penn State. He doesn't know about. Well, he's got to know now about Georgia Tech and Maryland. So he's got to be, to me, probably the top 150 player in the country. This is my opinion.
Is he going to be a defensive player at the next level?
Yeah.
Okay. In Class 2A, Clark County and Vincent. That's an interesting matchup for a 1 versus a 4 because Vincent's not your typical 4.
They're not. Vincent's not your typical 4.
I think Clark County's good, but is that game closer than what people think?
I think Vincent does a great job. I thought they got a former assistant of mine, Cameron Petway, that played at Auburn.
I know
Yep.
Cam.
Yeah, Cam is at Vincent now. So he helped them, balance some things out. And got some kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what it takes. You got to have them Jimmys and Joes.
No doubt about it.
So I think that's a close game. But I'm going to give Clark the edge. But I think it's a real close game, though.
I'm going with Clark because I don't know about either team. I'm going with Clark. I don't know.
You think Vincent's kind of let us down a little bit this year? You're not going to step out on a ledge there?
Yeah, Vincent has let us down. I'm going to go with Clark on this.
Yeah, you got to go with the championship program. Clark just won it all a few years ago. So I think you still got that championship pedigree that lingers for a while.
I don't know. I thought we were talking about another team, but yeah, Vincent has kind of let everybody down this year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kid right there.
All right, so keep going. B.B. Comer, Washington County. B.B. Comer's really, really good. One of the better teams. Highland Home and Ayrton. That's going to be a really, really good matchup in round 2. Now, here's B.B. Comer. Here's what they're going to have to go through. They've got to see it's probably going to be B.B. Comer, Highland Home in the second round, and then probably Clark County in the third round, and then probably a matchup with Reeltown in the semis. Reeltown plays Wicksburg. Highland Home plays Ayrton. I see both of those teams winning that one. Thorsby, they're good. The 2 seed out of B.B. Comer's region. They'll probably beat Chickasaw, but Reeltown's really, really good.
Reeltown really good.
And then the other side of the bracket, you obviously got Fife and Pisgah, and I believe that's the two best teams on the other side of that bracket. That should probably come out of that side of the bracket as well. So, but on that side, some local teams. Pleasant Valley gets Pisgah first game. Does the magic run for Pleasant Valley come to an end?
It does. It comes to an end. Pisgah.
Collinsville gets Southeastern.
I think I'm gonna give that one a toss up there.
Yeah, I don't.
Give that one a toss up.
Locust Fork, North Sound Mountain. I think Locust Fork wins that one.
Locust Fork.
I think Locust Fork's pretty good, but it's like when they have to run into Fife, probably in the third round, it's going to be a tough go. For them.
It's hard seeing Benefield.
Let me ask you this, Coach.
Hard seeing Benefield.
Let me ask you this. Fife does what Fife does. They're rolling at the right time. And a little bit that you know, do you think B.B. Comer can play with Fife this year? Give them a better game they did last year.
It's the physicality with Fife. You know, we lost to them in the state championship game.
So you're definitely familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, dude. And it's like I said, when you playing against programs like that just year after year, you can run the same thing. You're going to keep them local kids. Man, it's hard because it's a standard. My uncle did this. My cousin did this. And so when you playing with those type of kids, man.
You don't want to let down the bloodline.
You don't want to let down the bloodline. You don't want to let down that bloodline. And so, and those kids are physical. And so I just think that, you know, physicality.
As a coach, there's nothing more just debilitating than when you feel like you have a good game plan, but it don't matter what you call because nobody wants to tackle and go and show up for 4 quarters, and that's what Fife does to you.
That's what Fife do to you.
They do it over and over and dare you to stop them. They said,
dare you?
Yeah, they said we're gonna run these 5 plays. I'm not saying, you know.
No, Coach, they do. Coach, they ran the counter on us, Coach, in 16, and we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
I mean, like they could tell you what they were. I mean, it was the same way for us when I was at Munford my first year and we were playing Leeds in the semis. They ran counter and they lined up in the I, 2 tight end. They ran power and counter. We knew it was coming, and we didn't want to stop because they had Trey Nation, and they were really good up front.
Trey Nation was a ball player too.
And they were really big, really physical up front. It didn't matter what we called. Like Rico Jackson was actually at the game because Rodney was on our staff then. I said, Rico, what can we do anything different? He said, schematically, man, y'all are great. He said, just don't want to. Y'all don't want to tackle. Y'all ain't stopping him tonight.
Same thing. We wasn't state championship game.
No doubt about it.
We just couldn't. Now we hit them to their lowest outscoring that year. We hit them to 27 points, but we just didn't want to get in front of it.
Yeah.
Don't want to get in front of it.
It's cold like that. Them hard hits hurt.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Stained on it.
No doubt about it. Class 3A, Mobile Christian, Beulah. That's going to be Mobile Christian.
Mobile Christian.
Houston Academy and Alabama Christian.
Yeah. I'm going to get that to Houston Academy.
I don't know a whole lot. Walter Wellborn gets Flomerton. I think Wellborn will win that one. Wellborn's got a tough matchup round 2, though. Trinity Providence Christian winner. Trinity's probably going to win that one. They're playing really well.
I know those guys down there. So.
Yep.
St. James, don't know who they're going to match up with yet. St. James is really good, too. They got 1 loss on the year, I think, and that's to Hanley, which we think is probably one of the better teams in Class 4A.
Now, that Double S. Neal and Randolph County, I'm going to go with Double S. Neal on that one.
You think they can beat Randolph County?
I think they can get them. Coach Fountain does a great job. He revived that program down there, Double S. Neal, in a short time, man.
No doubt about it. Strong, Southside Selma.
Yeah, it's a toss-up.
Strong's a tough place to go play.
It is. Yeah. Coach Muda does a great job at Southside now. Coach Charles Muda does.
And Southside 7 is like ain't just that one-man team. They got with Derek Smith.
They got the Derek Smith.
That kid, oh my God.
He's electrifying.
He can play offense, defense. He will knock your head off.
Yeah, he can play.
Thomasville, Dadeville, I think. Thomasville wins that one. Gordo, don't know who they're matching up with yet. Geraldine and Susan Moore, I think Geraldine wins that one.
Let's see Geraldine.
Lauderdale County and Fayette County. I'm not real familiar with either one of those.
Fayette is not doing what they've done of past, so I'm gonna go with Lauderdale on that one.
Here's a matchup: JB Pennington and Piedmont. Piedmont has kind of turned it on at the right time. And you would much rather match up with Pennington than having to go play Madison Academy with a 4 seed like Hope's Bluff. Any chance Piedmont can go pull the upset off against Pennington?
There's always a chance, but.
Yeah,
I'm going with JB on that.
Yeah, I watched Piedmont earlier this year. I think I watched them. Maybe they played Anniston or someone. I watched them play.
They've been up and down.
And they kind of been up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with Pennington on that one there.
Do we still feel like that Mars Hill is in a class of their own in Class 3A?
I think so. I don't know about who finna beat them in that bracket they in.
They lost last week, though, didn't they? Week before last?
I think they played up, though. Okay. They played up a few weeks ago, if I remember.
Let me go. Let me look at them real
The
quick.
thing about it, they lost their best player. The four-star receiver.
Yeah, he went to Rogers. I heard about that.
Boston.
Yeah. Leave Mar Hill, you win, and he went to Rogers, man.
Yeah, I don't make a whole lot
That
of
don't
sense.
make a whole lot of sense.
I'll tell you
All right,
off camera.
they got beat. No, they lost a region game to Lauderdale County,
County.
20 to 14.
20-14.
Lauderdale County is undefeated on the year too. So Lauderdale County may be the Mars Hill didn't even win the region. Lauderdale County did.
Okay.
And so going back to the bracket,
And I just gave, I think it was Lauderdale versus Neal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
We right now? No.
Lauderdale
Fayette.
County says Fayette County.
Yeah, I said Lauderdale would
They
be
gon'
Fayette.
yeah, they gonna win that one.
Yeah.
Sylvania and Vinemont, Sylvania will win that one. Winfield and Colbert County. That's a.
Yeah, toss up. I'm gonna ride with Winfield.
I think Winfield's playing pretty
Winfield
good.
they play physical too. They play physical football. I saw them. I think it was versus Aliceville.
If you want to talk about 3A facilities, I don't know if you've ever been to Winfield Decks. You need to go down to Winfield.
It's nice.
really.
It's real nice.
Okay.
I was able to work a camp this summer down there, and it's like very, very nice.
It's nice, man.
Nice
You know-
weight room, indoor.
Cause you got some 6A, 7A programs that probably don't have. what
Cole,
they
me
got.
and you gonna get in the car. We're gonna ride down to Winfield and look at their
nice.
facilities. Really, really nice. Let's go out of Class 3A and look at Class 4A because this is where I think it gets a little interesting. Jackson don't know who they're playing yet because there's a three-way tie there, but I can go ahead and tell you whoever it is going. Jackson's one of the better teams in Class 4A.
Yeah, Jackson gets somebody out that Anniston region, I think. And they girls
Yeah.
somebody out that
They're going to
region.
get Cleveland County, White Plains, or Mumford. It looks like it's going to be Cleveland County.
That
But
one's going to have a field day.
yeah.
You know, it ain't gonna matter who Jackson get out that region.
Yeah, they're
It don't matter
tough.
Who they get.
Andalusia, tough loss last night, but I think whoever they get. But that round 2 matchup now between Andalusia and Jackson,
gonna be a good
that's
one.
going to be a good
Yeah,
one.
it's gonna be a good one.
Hey,
I still think Jackson pull it off.
Catholic Montgomery, though, kind of flexed their muscle last night a little bit. 27-14, I think, was the final there. They've kind of flown under the radar this year. We talked about that a little earlier. Usually everybody's amping them up. They just kind of been there. Not a whole lot of people are talking about it. And I think Coach Johnson, I think he likes it that way. I think that they've got a chance to make a run and win Class 4A.
I
Yeah.
got a chance to go down there and look at their facility. So Kirk does a great job down there. He just showing me everything is top class.
Uh-huh.
As far as the indoor, how it works and stuff. But
Yeah, they've put in a lot of money to that program, no doubt about it. American Christian and Booker T. Washington. I think Booker T. Washington. I mean, they played Andalusia very tight.
Very tight.
I think
Very tight game.
that's a game where American Christian could lose that game.
I can see that upset.
They
I
got
can
a
see
Troy
that.
come in, and then what's the linebacker?
I can see that.
He committed to Auburn, didn't he? The linebacker. They got.
Now, defensively, they're one of the better defenses in all of Class 4A.
But they got the athlete, the quarterback Elijah Hall. Man, that kid is so good. He's committed to Troy.
A few more. Jacksonville don't know who they're playing. That's going to be, and I think Bibb County and Jacksonville round 2. If that happens, it's going to be a really good ball
I think
team.
in that
Two
region, man,
contrasting.
you're gonna have a lot of good round 2 games.
Yeah,
in that, man.
no doubt about it. Because that Hanley Booker T. Washington
Booker T
game,
gonna be
it's going to be a
another
good game.
What do they
You
play?
may have better second round games than you have quarterfinal games.
You might be right. You might be
What
right.
does Booker T and Hanley play?
They would play the second round if both of them
Yeah.
make it to the second round. Like Jackson and Andalusia, great matchup.
Second
Hanley or American Christian and Booker T. Washington in the
Second
second round.
round.
Bibb County, Jacksonville, second round.
Catholic versus
Catholic versus Anniston and whoever they're going to end up
I
playing.
think
Probably
Anniston-
St. Michael or somebody
Yeah,
like that.
Anniston gonna have to travel to St. Michael's.
Hey,
Yeah.
Did you see that play?
That was awful.
I know that's what we was
And I'm
talking
sorry to
about.
say that,
That T.R.
but
Miller.
That was
a
terrible.
That was a terrible call.
But we already said it.
That
You're
was a
good.
terrible call.
Anion, and then you look in the north. In the north is real different. Cherokee County opens up with Central Florence. They're going to beat
Yeah,
them.
Cherokee County.
I think in the north, man, the only team that can really play with Cherokee County, in my opinion, is probably West Morgan, and that's going to be dependent. I don't know who West Morgan's played. I don't know the level of competition that they've played.
But they put up a lot of points, I think.
They
But
are.
the north is a lot easier.
ton
The
of
north is a lot easier road to get there than the
They come out of
south.
the
You
south.
start looking
Come
at
out
the
of the
south,
south.
and you look at those second round matchups in the south, and you're like, oh my
It's almost
goodness.
like a state championship.
It is. It is.
And so Class 4A is going to be a lot of fun matchups when you get to that second round in Class 4A
Let
football.
me ask your opinion from the coach. So we always talk about how tough the South region is. So, you know, they're going to be beating up on each other. Do you think that makes a difference, like, when they get to, like, the state championship?
I think it does.
It does.
I think it does. You alluded to it earlier. The colder they get, the harder them licks hurt.
Yeah.
And so I think that it plays a difference. You know, especially when you pounding and pounding and pounding.
Yeah.
And after a while, that stuff takes toll.
Yeah.
And so I definitely think it makes a difference. I think whoever come out of the South, I think it's a rough road.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a rough road to get there. Kind of like the SEC West.
And then the thing you got to work, they're going to be healthy enough.
When you get there.
Yeah, because they're
Beating up on each other. It's a gladiator fight every Friday, and when you get to that point, though.
All right, so Gulf Shores, if everything stays like it is, who knows what's going to happen in that situation.
Yeah.
They would open it with Beauregard, Charles Henderson. We don't know who they're playing yet. Central Clay County, don't know who they're playing yet. I think that if Gulf Shores and everything stays the same, I think we're on a collision course again in the quarterfinals with Gulf Shores and Central Clay County. And that's, I mean, hey, listen. Gulf Shores is really good, but it kind of like that 5 thing you were talking about. Central Clay plays a brand of football. Do you
Coach
want to
Horn does a
tackle
great job.
all 4?
Yep.
Coach Horn does a great job up
But
there.
he's kind of, not saying he's evolving, but, you know, he can spread you out.
No, he runs the spread, but if he has to, he's going to go back to his bread and butter, and they're getting that bone, and they're going to hit you in the mouth.
He's going to run at you.
And so that's a tough matchup for anybody, anytime. Ramsey opens up with West Point. Bless West Point's heart.
West Point.
Let me ask you this, and I know, listen, Southside leads Moody, not trying to take anything away from them. Like 5A North is tough, just like 4A South. When you look at Pleasant Grove, Ramsey, Fairview, Russellville, you look at Southside leads, and you look at Southside leads and Moody. That 5A North is tough, but in my opinion, and I kind of talked to you a little bit about this yesterday, Pleasant Grove and Ramsey are still in a league of their own.
Pleasant Grove and Ramsey is a league in their own up there. What Coach Jackson and Coach Darrell LeBeau does, they're in a league of their own. I think you're on a court on a crash for the semi between Pleasant Grove and
another
Ramsey.
team that I hadn't, but a team that gave Pleasant Grove all they wanted last year is Arab, and the job that Lee Osment has done at Arab. Because, like, and I'll tell Coach LeBeau this, so I love my guy, but Arab was nowhere near the team that Pleasant Grove was last year, and they pushed Pleasant Grove to the brinks. It's double overtime game. And so the job that he does, you got Gunnersville that's also in the 5A North. So you got a loaded 5A North, but I still think, I hope, like, as a fan, selfishly, Pleasant Grove Ramsey again. Does Coach LeBeau and Pleasant Grove make enough adjustments, and have they gotten better enough to make that a better ball game?
I think they have, and I'm going to say this. I've been blessed enough to be behind the scenes with Coach LeBeau, and I know that game. You know, he was telling his kids, "Hey, stay focused. Don't look ahead." And you know, you can tell them kids that, but sometimes them kids get to looking ahead, and then when they look up, you're in a dog fight.
It is.
And then you got to dig deep to get out of that thing.
That Arab game last year.
I think his kids start to look ahead, and I know him and Coach Davis and those guys were telling them kids, "Hey, one game at a time." You know, but when you show them kids that film, sometimes they get to judging things on their own. And but I really think that him and Ramsey, that Pleasant Grove and Ramsey.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup, and I think that'll be for a Central State Championship.
I think so.
In Class 6A, Saraland and McAdory. Saraland, one of the better teams in any classification.
God bless McAdory.
Bless her heart.
I like Coach. He does a great job over there.
He does do a great job.
Saraland on a different playing
possibly
field.
be the best team in the state. I mean,
Very well
regardless
could
of
be.
classification.
Very well could be. Whether it's Sam made in it, it doesn't matter.
And the thing about it, people think if you stop Ryan Williams, they got 2 other receivers.
They got 2 other receivers that are just electrifying.
And then they got a nice running back too.
Carver Montgomery.
Good problem to have.
Carver Montgomery and Briarwood.
Briarwood gonna be good. They get schematic, but I'm gonna give Carver Montgomery there. Just too many athletes on that field.
Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, they don't know who they're playing. Helena
They're on a different level.
and Wetumpka, I think Helena wins that one, even though they did get beat last night.
Busby do a great job.
Ben Russell and Sidney Lanier.
I'm gonna give that one to Benjamin Russell. The reason being Sidney Lanier numbers, I think they numbers worse than mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they showed I think I saw a film somewhere where somebody put something up where Sidney Lanier, they said, they took a picture of the sideline. There was nobody but coaches on the sideline. They said, I know you wonder where all Sidney Lanier players at, and they said they're all on the field. They played the game the other night with just 11 kids, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they're a playoff team in
Class 6A? Team. But Coach Fagan said, we don't make
hats off to their coaching staff.
Coach Fagan, he does a great job.
Dang, that's
Hueytown, don't know who they're playing yet. Pike Road and Homewood. Pike Road, obviously not the same Pike Road that they were.
Not as Homewood.
Yeah.
Not as Homewood. I'm going to give that game to Pike Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Homewood lost to Benjamin Russell on last night.
I hear you. Spanish Fort, Bessemer City.
Spanish Fort.
Yeah.
Spanish Fort.
And then, so, like, congratulations, first off, to Coach Rico Weac and Bradley Ball and Mae Jemison on making the playoffs. But you get Parker. I think Parker, the Thundering Herd. Coach Warren does a great job over there.
Great job.
And then, so that's a matchup that I'm intrigued by. Being an Oxford guy, I think Oxford is going to be able to take care of business against Athens. But then you get a round 2 matchup in Class 6A with Parker and Oxford. And that's going to be people around Oxford don't realize what kind of matchup that's going to be for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
That's a tough draw for a second round game. That's a tough thing about
For
Oxford.
both teams.
It's the number 2 seed in their
Yeah.
region, and you go into that second round and you grab that. Man, that's a tough reward for being a number 2.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's a tough reward.
Because when I think about it, I mean, I think like Oxford. If Oxford was to play Hartsville again, I think they would beat Hartsville by 2 touchdowns. I think that Clay Chalkville, I think Saraland, I think Parker, I think Oxford, all those teams, Muscle Shoals, all those teams are up there as some of the best, the class of Class 6A.
6A,
and then you get 2 of the better teams that are facing off each other in the second round.
Second round, man. Like I said, that's a tough draw for Oxford in the second round. I've watched Parker twice this year. They're good.
They're tough.
They're tough. They're tough. The big Crawford kid up front. Then you got Beeman. Like, man, then you got the Okor.
Yeah, he's the number one.
He's the number one recruit, number one recruit in the nation. I had his brother Ed Huffman, who's the starting running back at Tulane now. Makai Hughes.
Yeah, I know Makai.
You know, yeah, man, that's a tough draw.
No doubt about
Then they
it.
got another good linebacker named Eric Tarrant. He came from Huffman. Like, it's a tough draw right there in that second round.
Gaston City and Gardendale, I think Gaston City will win that one.
Yeah, Gardendale is not.
They're not what they were.
Since they lost to L.T. Sanders' kid,
And then Parks, and then
yeah, that's they've been having a lot to replace lately.
Hartsville and Centerpoint. Any
Gonna be a
chance
tough
Centerpoint
one.
can get, like, Coach Bates does a good job at
He
Centerpoint.
does.
Any chance they can give them a game?
Yeah, they gonna give them a game now. Now, one thing I can say, I had the pleasure to work with Coach Bates for 6 years. I was a DC for a while. He gonna have them ready to play. He gonna have them boys ready to play, and he does a great job of getting his kids to believe in the system and what they're doing. They're gonna be ready to play. And if Hartsville not careful, you know, they Centerpoint lost to Hartsville last year in that I think it was the quarterfinal, second round. I think it was. I wouldn't be surprised if you look up at Centerpoint win that game on Friday night. I wouldn't be surprised.
It was a ball game last night. I watched them play, and they got some players. I watched them play against Oxford last night. So Muscle Shoals and Pinson Valley. I think Muscle Shoals wins that one.
Muscle Shoals.
Fort Payne, Montmore, Jordan. That's it's
kind of a toss-up, man, to me. Mortimer Jordan are not the same Mortimer Jordan that they were years ago, but I'm a ride with Fort Payne.
The thing about Fort Payne is, I'm gonna go with Fort Payne too, but I remember early on, like Oxford played Fort Payne in a jamboree, and they just, it looked like that, like Fort Payne looked anemic on offense. Like and now they got one of the top-ranked scoring offenses in the state. So
one of the best quarterbacks.
Yeah, and so I think Fort Payne wins that one, but it'll be closer than people think. I think.
Yeah.
Clay Chalkville and Coleman, Clay Chalkville, Mountain Brook and Buckhorn.
Mountain Brook. Coach Yeager does a great job. That's why I say when you talking about one of them top tier teams, 6A, Mountain Brook gonna be, when you look down here at this region, you know, now Mountain Brook too get a tough second round game versus Clay. That's a tough.
Hey, now they upset Clay last year in the playoffs, didn't they?
No, did they?
They played. Mountain Brook played for the state championship last year against Saraland.
They beat Clay.
Yeah, and they can't. Clay Chalkville is definitely not going to be overlooking that second round game. I can promise you that.
Especially not a Coach Yeager team.
I can promise you that.
What CD? And you better not overlook him.
And then in Class 7A, Central Phoenix City, I think they're in a class of their own in the South. Mary Montgomery, though, what they've been able to do.
Having a great year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Great year.
Great year there. James Clemens and Hoover.
That's a bad draw for James Clemens.
I think you're right.
That is
Hoover's
a
playing
bad
better.
draw. Hoover playing better ball. And that's a bad draw to be a number 1 seed and grab a number 4 seed.
Yeah, because
That's a bad draw for James Clemens.
Hoover's trying to get it together right
But honestly, here's the thing. I think that region could go 4-0. Hoover can beat
is.
James Clemens. Hewitt-Trussville can beat Bob Jones. Thompson's going to beat Florence. And Vestavia Hills can definitely beat Austin. I think that region, they may lose, but there's a chance. There's a very good opportunity for them to go 4-0 in the first round.
It's been that way for the last few years.
You're right.
Usually that region, goes 4-0.
You right.
And that's why I said that's a bad draw for James. You think you're the number 1 seed, you got to play Hoover in the first round. I'm not signing up for that.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, time out. You tell me that before the season started. I know, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
I'm
tough draw to
agreeing.
be a number 1 seed.
But I think Thompson just got better. Had to move in week 9. Coach,
He didn't play last night.
No, he
Did he
didn't.
not play last
He
night?
didn't play. He was on the sideline with a T-shirt. but
Okay,
he didn't.
I kind of talked about that yesterday. There's some people that's really blowing that up, and I'm gonna be super quick with this. If you're mad about that decision, get mad at the state.
Get mad at the state.
The HSA has a wormhole right now where here's the thing: if you don't want this to happen, put a limit on when somebody can move. If it's after week 3, all right, you got to set out for the rest of the fall season. You start playing basketball,
Exactly.
but you can't play in a fall sport. And so, if you're mad at anybody, be mad at the state. But right now, with the way college is going, people are trying to get the most notoriety and they're trying to get the most exposure they can. What better exposure than the 7A playoffs when your team's not going to make the playoffs?
Not gonna make it.
And so, if you're mad, don't be mad at the kid, don't be mad at his family, don't even be mad at Thompson. Be mad at the state for not having a rule in place to say, hey, if it's after week 3, you can't move and be eligible.
Coach, I go on record saying I wouldn't care where I was coaching at. If that kid wanted to come to me and it's in the rule that he can come, okay, who mad? Come on, son.
Yeah. Like, we're
Come on,
going to
son.
welcome you.
I'm going to welcome you in.
Ain't no doubt about it.
You know?
All right, some games next week, and I'm going to try to hit this real fast. We got about 5 minutes left in the show. But some games next week that are going to be some pretty good ball games. Obviously, Oxford and Jacksonville. I want to make sure we get a chance to talk about that one. I will definitely be there. We will be set up live on location for the pregame show and the game and the postgame show. So I will definitely be there. Y'all don't have to worry about that. But I think that's going to be a good one. Weaver and Pleasant Valley. That should be a good ball game there with two programs. I think Weaver's going to win. I think Keyshawn Allen and Caden Gooden is going to be too much for Pleasant Valley, but a good matchup there. Let me see what else we got. We got a bunch of Thursday night games on the slate next week.
So maybe the kids 2 games.
Yeah.
Gordo plays Hale County next week in a 3A, 4A. I think Gordo's going to win that one. Stanhope, Elmore, and Minor, pretty decent ball game.
Yeah. Kind of toss up. I may go with. I love Coach Adrian, man. I think he does a great job. So it's kind of.
He's strong. He's real strong.
Some Friday matchups. Why would Linden put Mars Hill as a
I
non-region
understand
game?
that one.
I don't know who made that schedule, but I'm mad at him, whoever it is.
Yeah,
Winterboro plays Childersburg in a local game. What do you think about that?
Childersburg.
I think Childersburg beats Winterboro as well. Appalachian, Cedar Bluff, and Donahoe. Donahoe pulling upset or Collinsville and Valley Head. Randolph County. Sorry, Ranburn.
Yeah, Randolph County. I don't know.
Let me see what else we got.
We got the Battle of Murder Creek too with WSL.
WSL Terra Mill. That's a huge rivalry. People don't realize how big that rivalry is.
And that's going to be a good one. Like I said, with Coach Fountain doing what he's doing to rebuild that thing up, that's going to be a good one.
No doubt about it. We got Walter Welborn and Cleburne County. Any chance Cleburne County pulls off that upset, or Walter Welborn playing too well?
I think Welborn playing too well. They're playing too well.
Talladega and Sachs. Any chance Bill Smith and Talladega get their first win, or Sachs trying to start playing right at the right time?
I love Bill, but I'm going with Sachs.
And like I said, the community needs to support that team, man.
Yeah.
If you look in the stands, it's just empty.
Empty.
Sylvania and Fife. I got Fife.
I got Fife.
I think Fife is playing too well right now.
Yeah, Coach Benefield, man. I hard to bet against him. Hard to bet against him.
Etowah and Southside. I got Southside.
That's Southside on that.
Cherokee County, Fort Payne. Any chance Cherokee County goes up in classification, beats Fort Payne, or is 6A just too tough for 4A?
I think anywhere you go from 4 to, and if you're going 2 up, I think it's a possibility.
So I think that's going to be a good ball game.
We're going to be.
I'm going with Cherokee.
It's going to. Yep.
Do what?
Yep.
All right, 90 seconds left in the show. I got Valley and Benjamin Russell. Any chance that's a ball game? Or
Give it to Benjamin Russell.
I got Ben Russell, too.
Ben Russell. Yeah.
Springville and Pell City.
Pell City.
Leeds and Centerpoint.
That's a good one.
That's a good dog.
That's going to be a good game. I'm going to go with Leeds.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'm going to go with Leeds. I'm going to go with Coach Hood.
I'm going to go with Center Point.
I'm going with Leeds.
What about Springville and Pell City? You got Pell City. I got Pell City, too. I think Pell City's too much.
Got Pell City.
Who wins the Oxford-Jacksonville game? We're going to end on that.
probably.
Be quick.
I'm going with Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I got Oxford.
I got Oxford as well. I think the game will be close, though.
Yeah.
I think Oxford's pressure up front will be too much. I think they'll get after Jim Ogle, and it'll be too much. So, guys, it's been a good show. It's been fun. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you
like I
guys
said,
so much for
Jermaine
having us.
Watson, head coach, Banks Academy. Look up the Jets. We're going to get with him, make sure we get your guys the most exposure they can. Dex from Dex Preps and Dex's Dudes. I'm Chandler Tyree. I'm the coach, and we have enjoyed being with you. If you're not out and about yet, come out and about. Eat Western Sips, and thanks for joining the Saturday Morning Breakfast Club. We'll be back next